All right. There we are. How's it going, everybody? Everyone's wondering if Try was going to be here. Try is he's traveling right now, so I got a couple of guests tonight. So Joe from GameSack and Chris from Classic Game and Quarterly. Going to be reading some old magazines and just hanging out and doing whatever we feel like. You know, see what we. I don't know. I mean, hopefully there will be no technical issues, but whatever. I've kind of had a crazy weekend. I was like at a camping out again. I went camping last week, but this week we went to a friend's cabin, and it's just like I barely slept last night, so I'm just like running on empty again. So that's that. How are you guys doing?
Good. I don't really have anything to say off the top of my head. I'll just react to what you guys say.
There you go. I'm not really much of a camper myself, so I can't really comment on the fact that you're camping 2 weekends in a row.
Well, I mean, it's like that's one time too many, I think. But
Well, I'm always reminded of a joke that Gary Shandling told a long time ago on the Tonight Show when he said, "Oh yeah, when I go camping, I go up there to Lake Tahoe. I like to stay at the Sheraton." And that's about how I feel about it. Like if I'm in a hotel and there's like evergreen trees around me, that's as close as I ever need to get to camping.
well, this was we were like slept in like a pop-up camper. It was like kind of a pop-up. It's like a trailer, and it pops up. The top goes up, and then beds like go out from the sides. It's kind of cool.
What happened to your apartment tent that you talked about?
Oh, we didn't. This was the people who owned the cabin, like the property. They already had this thing.
Oh, I see.
So it was cool. It was cool.
So like they invited you to come stay with them, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't sleep in our house, but we have like this transformer that you can sleep inside."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like no electric out there or anything. They just have like batteries that they use. They just like go there every once in a while and like, don't, because I guess it was going to cost like $12,000 to run electric to this place.
Can you get like solar panels or something?
I wonder. But I don't think that would be much cheaper.
Yeah.
All right. So Joe wanted me to ask him about why he's clean shaven.
I didn't want you to ask me about that.
Well,
I wanted you to wait to ask me that.
Yes, waiting
until the actual stream.
So why are you clean shaven?
Oh, I had to shave because of a skit I did.
Yeah. So is it going to be like a stop motion type thing?
No. Do stop motion. Got to shave for that. No.
I
You mean like the beard disappearing? No.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Are you for the skit playing like a younger version of yourself?
No, but I would do that. Yeah, I would shave. Like much younger, but no, it's a skit. And it's actually I had to do it because it's coming out on the next episode. I already had an end skit on that episode, but I thought of something that would be more appropriate for that episode, and so I redid the skit as a parody of another channel, and so I had to do it real quick, and then hopefully the beard grows back before I have to go on camera again.
Since you're clean shaven, I don't have to worry about you parodying my channel. So
Pretty soon I'll have, the lack of hair to parody your channel.
right, yeah, you have too much hair to parody me.
All right, so we're gonna read. I grabbed a stack and I went through some possibilities with these guys, and we kind of settled on Game Pro from February 1991, specifically because of the CD-ROM games at the top here, and I think it's going to be a bunch of like probably early TurboGrafx 16 CD-ROM games, but still, I mean. Maybe those.
Yeah,
are the best.
I sure hope we get a chance to talk about Fighting Street.
I bet we do. So this was like one of a batch of magazines that I got off of off of Offer Up. Like 2 years ago, somebody put like a bunch of GamePro magazines on there, and it was like sitting on Offer Up for, I guess, like a year. And then I asked this guy if he would take like $25 for this big box of them. And there was like all these super early GamePros in there. It's kind of cool. Because, I mean, I think the early GamePros are like really the only good ones. You know, maybe the first like couple years.
Maybe the first couple of issues.
Yeah, the first couple issues. But this is when did the first one come out? Like 1990, sometime in 90. So I mean, this is like probably what's that?
Late 89, or was it not?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 89 on that. Well, the first issue was really a nothing burger.
Yeah.
But it was the first place I at least saw like the new PC Engine consoles, like the super graphics, the core graphics, and the shuttle. Saw them first in GamePro, so I thought that spread was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, at the age we probably were at the time, it seemed like all right. You know, there was like so many magazines out at the same time that I think that, you know, I would just get every magazine I could get my hands on.
Same.
So it would just be like, you know, GamePro may have been my least favorite. Although I think at the time, video games and computer entertainment was probably my least favorite, but I think that I've come to appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah,
that was more of the thinking man's magazine, so I'm not real too shocked to hear you say that.
I don't think it was a thinking man's magazine. I think it was more like they didn't have, well, they did at one point, but they didn't have news of upcoming stuff that I really wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all.
They kind of had a policy about that, didn't they? Like they wouldn't, in that magazine, like they wouldn't cover anything that wasn't out.
Oh,
possibly,
in
but
CE, so that's why you never heard about like imports or here's some games that are coming out.
They had a whole, they went on for a couple of months about the PC Engine, which I really liked.
I wonder, I mean, wait, Video Games and Computer Entertainment had a policy for that? Or GamePro?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I don't know what GamePro's policy was, if they had one.
They didn't care. So I'm gonna go ahead and anyway start out with Devil's Crush. So what do you guys prefer, Devil's Crush or Alien Crush?
No one prefers Alien Crush.
Well, I mean, I guess like Alien Crush was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And,
I mean, that would be a hell of a backwards jump.
Yeah.
Alien
I guess
Crush
it's kind of
came
relevant,
out.
though, because, like, Joe, your episode that came out today, you know, about spiritual
had a little bit of Devil's Crush, yeah.
Yeah, it covered Demon's Tilt.
Demon's Tit, yeah.
Which is something that I have the PS4 version, but I've never even booted it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I just learned on Twitter maybe like 15 minutes ago that there's a hidden settings screen, but you got to pause during the gameplay. It's not in the actual options.
Oh yeah. Wait,
yeah.
What's in the hidden settings?
Well, it's like you can adjust like the zoom and I guess the sound volume and mixing. Maybe I haven't checked it out.
Nice. I should probably play it. All right. And the Lynx. Lynx is a it's a Blue Lightning machine for me. It was a Blue Lightning and Red Baron machine for me. Warbirds. I always get Red Baron and Warbirds mixed up. I do like that they show clacks in the sideways.
Yeah. Gauntlet should be like that as well, unless they didn't have Gauntlet out yet.
Oh yeah, it is. No, that is Gauntlet. Yeah. Does anybody like clacks? I don't think I've ever met somebody who likes clacks.
I always want to like clacks because I like the atmosphere when I'm playing clacks, but I don't actually enjoy the act of playing the game.
I mean,
well, you boot it up and it says it's the 90s and it's time for clacks, so you can't play it unless it's the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool if somebody came over to my house and just like sat in the basement with me and played clacks like back there,
and
but didn't talk to me at all. You know?
Just they have it on.
And only for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Blue Lightning, I think Blue Lightning is still impressive. I mean,
Yeah, especially for the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
and I mean, it's still really fun. It almost feels like it's almost more like it could be free roaming, but it's not, because you can constantly go like sideways, even though everything just repeats.
Yeah.
And it had smoke trails.
Yeah, and it had like hardware scaling, which was
Yeah.
awesome. It blew me away back in the day.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like,
that
why
was
is
the
this
first handheld I
why
ever
does this
got.
portable system have hardware scaling and we don't have a console that does yet?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how much like the hardware cost them. You know, if they were like taking a loss on everything, like right out of the gate for it.
Good
And
question.
never
Why isn't
recuperated
Miss
it.
Pac-Man sideways like Gauntlet and Klax? It should be.
Oh, is that that's a?
Well, no, you can't play it like that. I'm saying they should have made it so you could.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they did. I haven't played the Lynx version, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to play it horizontally like that.
I mean, did either of you guys have a Lynx back in the day?
Not back in the day. My friend had one, of course. He had everything, but no, I bought his Lynx eventually.
Oh,
I
that's
still
cool.
have it now.
I think
I
everybody.
had a Lynx in like 1995, so not
Okay. Like
you
the
know,
smaller
I mean,
one.
you could still,
Oh,
yeah, which I like better. But I mean, so you could still kind of buy new Lynx games for it at the time. But I mean, it was 6 years old.
yeah. Yeah, I
But,
managed to get I have a sealed copy of Chip's Challenge for some reason on the Lynx.
No one wants to.
And I didn't
open
even have
that
a Lynx
up.
to play
It's not
it
a
on.
bad game though.
Geez, there was a $40 super chat because
Okay,
Joe's
there-
here.
Since Joe's here, so I don't. I
So,
feel
so
like
Chris doesn't get any of that.
no, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I think you should throw Joe a 20 for that.
I'll do what I can. It goes all into the
No, Corey sends me lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to send stuff when I can to like whoever. I have a whole box of stuff for Chris. And I'm just waiting to make a couple of mini discs for him. I have partially made mini discs for him. And we're skipping over the table of contents, right? Chris, that's what you usually do?
Yeah.
I do, but what is that, like Deja Vu or something? Who's the guy in the lower left there?
It is Deja Vu.
That guy looks like a certain somebody who's
Not here today.
talked about in the media these days.
Wait, it looks like somebody who's not in the media?
No, who's regularly. It looks like Ron DeSantis. You look that looks like a cartoon Ron DeSantis.
I don't see it.
I do. That looks just
I
like
can
him.
see it a little bit.
But on the other page, you had Kit. You're gonna pass over Kit.
Well, I mean, I'm not a big Kicks
Whatever. Yeah,
fan, but I never played the NES version. Is the NES version like
I think
surprisingly
man's
good?
game, so I'm not surprised. I don't know. I'm not sure I've played the NES version, but
I didn't even
this
know there was actually an NES version until this.
Kicks is cool.
Yeah, it's like of the era. They always wanted to say you're getting pulled in your TV.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's that immersive.
Imagine
Although if you're going to
that.
play a kick style game, you could play Volfeed or whatever on the PC Engine. That's a lot better, I think.
Oh, let me-
Volviev.
So yeah, I'm sure I'm not saying it right, but
Oh,
I
is
don't
that
know.
the?
No, I think it's I don't know. I always say Volfeed because that's what it looks like, but I think it's Volviev. The way
Volvita?
they draw their logo.
This is kind of surprising though that they have an ad for Master System stuff. I mean,
I hate it when they started doing their boxes in that style.
I know. I talk a lot about how like my favorite era of Genesis games is like the black grid box era. But I feel like I kind of have a soft spot for the clip art era on the Master System. Except for I do like the Phantasy Star box art. Some of these are pretty good though, I guess. So Alex Kidd Shinobi World is like one of the rarest games on the system, I think. That and like Power Strike is like the most expensive.
that's pretty rare. I think the rarest one is the US version of Sonic 1,
yeah.
where it's just a barcode on the back that differentiates it from the UK release.
Oh, really? Could you only get that like from Sega also?
Couldn't tell you. Probably.
Yeah, because that was the deal with Power Strike, right? Like you
Yeah.
ordered yours from them. I mean, that's
Yeah, I ordered mine when it was available from the Sega newsletter.
yeah. Do you ever like sit back and be like, man, it's kind of awesome that I had the forethought to do that and also like keep all that stuff?
No, but I was happy when I did it,
Yeah.
and it took like, God, it took like 2 or 3 months for it to show up, and it showed up one day, and like, oh yeah, I forgot I ordered this.
I mean,
I'm
that
like, oh,
feels
this
like
is so cool.
now if you order anything from like any limited release
Oh, yeah.
company,
Yeah,
you like
seriously.
forget that you even ordered it.
That just happened to me like 2 days ago. I still don't remember ordering it. I got sent the Dreamcast component cables that what is it, Retro Gaming Cables over in the UK are selling.
And
That
it
are
just like showed up.
cables are powered by RetroTink, which is likely why I ordered. Yeah, I still don't. I mean, I don't know. I definitely they didn't send them to me like, oh, send them to Classic Gaming. They didn't do that. But I really don't remember ordering them. So when I got them in the mail, I was like, what? You know, even after I saw where it was from, I was like, what the heck is this? And so there you go. So I don't know how long ago that means I ordered them.
I do have to call out here like the 1-800-USA Sega. I think,
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
I talked a lot about that with you when we did that read through of Sega Visions on that episode. And,
Yeah.
you know, I used to call Sega's 800 number every day. And I got like all this
Every
stuff.
single day. I called every other day.
Yeah, and you probably like start to get the same people, right? And they would know you after a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I mean, because I don't know, I didn't have anybody. I mean, I had some friends that I could talk about with this stuff, but not as much as I could talk to, you know, like the people on the 800 USA Sega line.
Like, because all the kids at school were like NES kids.
Well, no, I mean,
Or-
there's a couple of Sega kids, but like I just wanted to talk about this stuff like constantly.
Yeah. That's how I found out that Genesis was going to be called the Genesis, because, you know, I saw the Mega Drive in EGM, and I'm like, what? So I called up Sega, and it's like, tell me about the Mega Drive. They're like, well, it's going to be called the Genesis, and we're looking for maybe an August, September release later this year, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa.
Did you ever get any of those, like the hint pamphlets they would send?
Oh, yeah. It's like, send me all the tricks you got for every single game you have, because I want them. And then they'd just be printed pieces of paper with, you know, basically copies of a typewriter written thing, and just folded up, stuffed in the envelope. Good enough for me. I just wanted to get further in the games.
It's so cool that they would do that, especially since, you know, like even just calling the line was free.
Yeah, well, for a while. I mean, you could call and ask them, like, hey, how do you get past, you know, the second boss in such and such a game? And they tell you. Eventually, though, they started charging for that. It's like, hey, how do you get past this part of the game? They're like, well, nope, you need to pay by the minute for that.
Yeah,
And so that's when I stopped calling.
by the minute. You guys ever like call any of those like 900 numbers where it's like,
No.
you know, it's a $1 for a minute, first minute?
Only-
Yeah, no.
I mean, we
Only the porn ones.
Only the porn ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
Those are
thing
at least worth it.
paying for it. You know.
it's just crazy to think that some of those were like $5 a minute after that first minute. Like that's
Back then?
yeah, it was like 99 cents
No
for
one
the
would
first
call.
minute, and then $4.99 every additional minute.
Jesus.
Frank Borst, I did have a lot of letter exchanges with people at the USA Sega line. I still have a lot of that stuff. It's kind of neat to look through them. All right, Maniac Mansion. Never. This was a big deal, but I never really played it.
No, not me. Me neither.
I mean, my introduction to Maniac Mansion was Maniac Mansion 2 on PC, like when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of, I mean, obviously, I'm sure Maniac Mansion is a great game. I assume I haven't played it because to me it's just so difficult to go back
Yeah.
after playing Day of the Tentacle to playing the original, even on the PC. Like I wouldn't even bother playing it on the NES. But
Yeah, I mean, I think I actually might have this though, or I almost bought it at one point. All right, we're looking for letters, and of course we got Castlevania 3 over here. We can win a radical trip to Dracula's hometown. I always think about this stuff because I wonder, like, if anybody won this.
Right. You never hear about it.
Yeah, and I sort of feel like nobody ever won this stuff.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you think they'd make like if somebody won that, you know, they had something like that now, somebody won that, you know, like the company would be documenting the whole thing and like, you know, putting it up on social media, which of course didn't exist back then, but you'd still think they'd put something somewhere in an ad like, hey, here's little, you know, Billy Robinson from, you know, Muskogee got to go.
Or at least you'd hear about them on social media these days, like, hey, I'm the kid who won the trip to Transylvania.
That's what I want, is I just want to hear from somebody who actually won something.
Yeah, same.
Just so we can, like, say that it actually happened. Because I don't think I've ever met anybody that's won anything like this. Like, there was the one, like, winning the Ultimate Gaming setup, but that one was like a scam.
Yeah.
It's a known scam.
Yeah.
You got the letters.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool Tengen ad.
It is.
I gotta say,
good for Tengen.
Airball. What is Airball? I never even heard of that.
No. Are you sure that came out? Because they also got Police Academy over there, and that definitely didn't come out.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any like,
I don't know.
screenshots or anything?
I feel like I looked into it at one point, and I got to think that if there was some kind of like playable beta or whatever prototype ROM out there, I would have been playing it. So I'm guessing no.
Well, in this letter, they're talking about violence in games. They're talking about Splatterhouse. To me, the violence makes in both games and movies makes it more stimulating. I own the game on the Splatterhouse on TurboGrafx 16, despite the macabre details. It's a very fun game to play. I believe that it should be entirely up to the parents to make decisions as to which games are suitable for their kids to play. And if a game magazine feels that it's necessary to publish information on violence and combat a particular video game, then maybe it should be done. Going all the way back, I mean, we haven't really even seen anything yet. Although, you know, Mortal Kombat's always talked about as being like the first big violent, like super violent game, but I don't know. Like Splatterhouse is surprisingly bloody, and then you get, what was that, Techno Cop? That has like the guys that explode. Even
I don't think Splatterhouse was that violent. I mean, it's just monsters dying, and they all have like green blood, so it wasn't really like, ooh, this is. To me, it didn't feel controversial.
Yeah.
But Technocop, yeah, you could have little kids explode. So,
really?
Yeah. Yeah, you could shoot a kid and they'd explode and twitch in the blood.
Holy cow.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Dang. I've never played it. I just remember seeing, you know, a screenshot of somebody's entire body exploding and just like the head was floating there still. I mean, like the Immortal was pretty violent. I mean,
yeah, that one was pretty violent. Was it violent on Nintendo though? I remember it was on Sega.
Yeah, with like I don't know.
I haven't played the Nintendo version.
Me either. That's one of those. I mean, I forget like even what it's like, you know, outside of the screenshots. I mean, is it any good? Because I know that I rented it, but Immortal? I don't remember playing it.
Yeah, it's hard to get into, really.
Yeah.
That's what I recall. I remember it's extremely difficult.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
They should compare the NES and Genesis Immortal, some video game channel, not me.
Well, you always... Do you have like a list of stuff just to come back to? Or like
I have a list of episode ideas that I want to do and games that could go in said episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Ooh, the
Yeah.
cutting edge CD-ROM for gamers. The CDs are coming. Look, it's JB Harold Murder Club.
Yeah. In the magical dinosaur tour.
Yeah, and Loom, which wouldn't come out forever on that system.
Oh.
That's a Super CD, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never played it. I played the PC version.
I think I have it, but I think it's a Super CD-ROM game. It's not a game I can really get into, but I think I'm surprised that it's in there.
Did you get one right at launch?
No, no. My friend did, like a few months after. Of course he did. He's the same guy who had the links. Paid the $400 for it. I got mine as a high school graduation present.
Oh, that's cool.
It had some cost reductions by then, or price reductions rather.
But you still have your original system.
Yeah.
I've got a little bug flying around here. Do you have JB Harold Murder Club? Come on, Harold.
Yeah, I eventually got that one. I loved it. I still love it.
I mean, how different is it from like Sherlock Holmes, or is it?
It's like completely different. Like I remember it was shown in the magazines, and Sherlock Holmes was shown before JB Harold came out. So there was like, well, they both have video, but JB Harold is all like, still screens, and it's just like, your typical adventure game where you just select a menu and go through them all, go through all the selections, and then just move on. And Sherlock Holmes had moving talking video, which was amazing for the time. But I definitely prefer JB Harold Murder Club.
Mr. Dots is saying, wasn't there a sequel to Murder Club?
Oh, there are many sequels.
Oh,
There's
really?
that one that's on the one I played through was on the Laser Active, Manhattan Requiem. That was another good one. Probably the best game on the Laser Active, in my opinion.
Really?
The best actual game.
Huh. Like, so I guess they had standalone games. I always think about like the Laser Active with the different modules and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I never think about it having like its own games.
Yeah, it had its own games. In fact, I made a video about the Laser Active about, I don't know, 23 years ago. However long ago that episode
long in
was.
YouTube time. And then, Chris, did you play Hunt for Red October on the NES immediately after reading the book? Recently?
Well, I mean, I didn't read the book back when I was a kid, but
recently he read it.
yeah. No, I haven't played it, but I feel like I must have rented that back in the day because I love that movie.
Yeah.
But I don't recall. I mean, you'd think if I had seen that for sale at the store, I would have been like trying to get it.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say down there? It says, "Look for the Nestle Crunch Bar." What?
Nestle Crunch Bar promotion, specially marked packages, and win the Hunt for Red October game or other prizes.
That was my favorite candy bar when I was a kid.
Nestle
like,
Crunch?
Yeah, like if you gave me like a Nestle Crunch Bar and like, oh, I rented you Hunt for Red October on some Friday night, I would have been so happy.
Yeah. And like, what if you won a free copy from it?
Well, I mean, that would be even better, obviously.
More.
Hey, BRE Software.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was I used to go there all the time. Used to ride my bike there.
So did you know like the people that that owned it pretty well?
No, I didn't like go in there and bother them. But I mean, I bought a lot of video games there. I mean, they were around for a pretty long time. I mean, I used to go there when like in the NES days, and I was still shopping there in like the PlayStation 2 days. So.
Looking at the prices on a lot of these TurboGrafx, they're selling used, I guess, but most of them are like $30 to $35.
I mean, they would often have like buy two get one free sales on used video games. I think I've told that story before. I went in there one day and they had a whole stack of each. They had a whole stack of 32Xs brand new in the box, and they had a whole stack of Atari Jaguars brand new in the box, and there was just a sign that was just like either one $25.
Do you wish that you had bought? Did you buy either one of them though?
Yeah, I bought a Jaguar just because I thought I played a Jaguar like right when it came out because they had like a demo kiosk at a electronics store that I used to go to, and I mean, I thought it was cool. I know it likes to, people like to make it the butt of their jokes or whatever. But first time I played Cybermorph, in like '93 or whatever, I thought, this is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw the system for only $25 brand new, I was just like, well, why not? So,
Yeah.
And I kept it for a few years, but then I ended up trading it to somebody like straight across for complete in the box TurboGrafx 16, and that was my first TurboGrafx 16.
Oh, okay. Did you have Trevor McFur?
No, I mean I have had it at some point. I didn't have it back then, but that game sucks real bad.
Oh, someone's calling out the cat. Joe, is that your cat? And down there
It
in the
was,
corner?
yeah. She's down now.
Well, if it's not his cat, then
Oh,
he
I
left the
didn't know. Maybe.
window open or something.
I mean, sometimes my cat comes down too. So.
Yeah, well, you start talking, they think you're talking to them, so they got to
Yeah.
come investigate.
Do you just have one cat?
Yeah.
Does she like bother you constantly?
Yeah.
Was not a talker, like didn't make a lot of noise when I first got her. Now she's just like incessantly talking, and I'm like, just like leave me alone. And so she's a rescue, so she's like afraid of everything, and it's like she's like begging for you to like pet her, and then you go to pet her, and she just goes right out of reach from you constantly, and it's like I'm not gonna chase you, and she's just trying to like lure me to.
Are you sure
like,
she's not trying to play with you? Like,
No, she's not trying to play it. She's trying to lure me to where she can like lay down on the couch or something like that. Like I'm gonna get out of reach. I shouldn't be cutting out. Hopefully my audio is not cutting out. If it is, it might have to do with. I think the noise suppression messes with everything. I turned off the noise suppression, so let's see if that works. All right, so now we got some CD-ROM games. So Final Zone 2.
I give that some pretty good ratings.
Yeah.
That game pissed me off when I first got it because I could not get past level 2, I think it was. And it just, oh my God. I was about ready to yeet the CD across the house. But then I waited like a day or two and put it in again, and I just like walked through the entire game with ease. So I don't know what happened, but
Sometimes that's what you got to do. You just got to walk
Yeah.
away and come back. So, what was the Genesis had Final Zone 1, which was kind of like an isometric.
yeah, I much prefer Final Zone 2.
Okay, because I mean, I never really cared. I didn't think the Final Zone 1 was like
No.
all that great, but the
No.
mech itself looked pretty cool. But that was one of those, I think, like the Wolf Team games or Renovation Publishing.
Yeah.
We got
And this one
$10
was
from
done
James.
by Telenet.
Right. Oh yeah. We got $10 from James Boone. Thank you. Saying I used to hate GamePro back in the day because I felt like they weren't gamers and 50% of each issue was ads. But going back now, I'd rather see those ads as they're more nostalgic than reviews. I totally
Right.
agree. I totally agree. It's weird how that works out. I mean, it's the same thing with like off-air TV recordings. I love to just watch off-air TV recordings with all the commercials and everything.
I mean, there's playlists on YouTube of just nothing but classic like '80s commercials.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's like almost more nostalgic than watching an old TV show.
Yeah, but it's even better when you can watch an old TV show and still have the commercials in there.
Yes.
Chris, I know I told you about it, Joe. I have this huge bin of old VHS tapes from like when my grandma died. She like had all of these off-air VHS tapes, and there was one that it was just like an 8-hour recording, like straight through of the USA Network in 1996. So it is like on a Saturday, and it includes an entire like both movies of an episode of USA Up All Night. Like I
I don't know what that is. But
Oh,
okay.
that was like the on the USA Network. It was like hosted by Gilbert Gottfried, and they show like B movies.
Oh. I never had cable, so I never had that.
Oh, okay.
No knowledge of cable stuffs.
But it was cool. I mean,
All you rich kids with cable.
all right. So we got a Magical Dinosaur Tour, which I have never even heard of.
You've never heard of that?
No.
Until right now.
Until the page before, honestly.
Jeez. Turn in your gamer card, Coury.
I know.
Jeez. It's a dinosaur tour, and it's quite magical.
I mean, is there anything else to it?
No.
The Flintstones, it ain't.
What? The Flintstones, it ain't?
Yeah, it ain't the Flintstones.
Yeah, well, no. It's better.
So it's just an educational game. It's an educational compact disc.
Edutainment.
That was really the thing early on where they tried to make,
Yeah,
we
only
can
the
have
CDI
education.
got it right, really, with that edutainment. And that's why we all play CDI today.
There's $2 from Dan B. Thank you, saying up all night, always ran softcore trash, and exactly.
What's wrong with softcore trash? First of all, like, who among us in high? Like, I didn't have cable either, but I'd go over to my friend's house and we'd stay up, on Saturday night as late as we could just to catch whatever was coming up on Skinamax.
Oh, absolutely.
Emmanuel 7 or whatever.
Yep. And I mean, it's the same. Like, we had HBO, and it was very similar, but the name or the moniker Skinamax was apt, I think, because that's why most people had it. And then sometimes you just watch the scrambled channels. Kids these days will never know.
I think I've done that over at a relative's house. Tried to watch the scrambled channels.
Yeah. There was a time where we had a cable box, and someone discovered on a certain make of cable boxes, if you stuck a folded postcard into the top of it, where you had the knob, they had 30 channels on it, but if you stuck a folded postcard in the top of it, it would give you all channels.
Which
was crazy. I mean, that's something I didn't even think about until just now. Oh, here we go.
Did you ever do the thing where, because for a while, when I lived with my dad, we had cable for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I know you just said you already had HBO, so I don't know if there was anything you didn't have, but they would do those every once in a while they'd have a weekend where they would let you have some premium channel or channel package, and so we'd get it's like an HBO weekend,
mm-hmm.
and then before you went to bed on Sunday night, if you unscrewed the cable from your cable box, so when they sent the signal to re-scramble HBO, you could usually eke out a couple extra, because they would send one Sunday night, and then they would wait and send another one on Wednesday or something, so you could get a couple extra days of free HBO.
That's cool. I didn't realize that they had to send a signal to unscramble it.
Wait, what's going on, Joe? You don't sell GameSack stickers? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I don't. I give them away for free.
Oh, but you do have them.
Yeah.
You've got someone here in the chat. Monty G is trying to figure out.
Monty G needs to send me his address.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Problem solved.
Yeah. I mean, I have a sticker. I mean, I still have a hat, a GameSack hat, and I have a.
I don't have anything. After I sent Joe that copy of 3D the Chess Master long box edition, I was checking my PO box every day for a month until I finally kind of got the message and was like, all right.
What was it? What game?
3D the Chess Master.
I was
3D.
selling a bunch of long box games, and he had asked about a few of them, and I think the only one that was left was 3D the Chess Master, and I'm like, man, I can't sell you 3D the Chess, I can't accept money for that. So I was like, just take it.
I haven't played it yet either. straight on the shelf.
I didn't really assume you were buying it to play it.
Right. Shelf candy.
Yeah. Do you have a full long box collection now?
No, but I would like one. If I go for any set, that would be a good one to have.
Yeah, like the PS1.
I've close to 20 of them so far. I can't remember how many there are. A
And
lot
there's like
more
the
than
different
that.
kinds too. There's the ones like the cardboard
Yeah.
ones. Like I have a copy of Twisted
They got
Metal.
cheap with their long boxes. I like the
Yeah,
first ones, like Saturn cases.
right.
But then they got like I didn't like the long boxes they really came out with after that. And there's one of the plastic ones was fine,
Hmm.
but then the other one, like the glue would start coming off, and the cardboard would just start peeling off, and it just looked like really bad.
Yeah, I mean I have a copy of Twisted Metal I found at Goodwill that that the glue is coming off of it.
You could just re-glue it.
I know.
Bother-
Maybe
yeah.
get some like rubber
I
cement.
did reglue it, but you have to like put a rubber band around those things and leave them like that for a week for them to stick.
Would rubber cement work? Do they still make rubber cement?
They do. Rubber cement, I don't think would work. I'd use super glue.
I usually just use Elmer's for stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there was that $5 from Monty G. Thank you, and also $4.99 from Paul Sutton saying, "Game Pro is what I buy if I still have money after buying EGM, video games, and computer entertainment, all the good comics on the spinner."
Right.
So
It's
literally
definitely not the first choice.
last thing. I'm gonna have to check out this JB Murder Club. Is it almost like Snatcher-esque?
Kind of. And I like you can have the voices like in English or Japanese or off, which you will do when you figure you want to start progressing in the game and not listening to everything. But I really like it.
Really quick, because of the I just thought about this today, going back to the Magical Dinosaur Tour. Do you know that today is the 30th anniversary of the release of Jurassic Park?
Today?
Yeah, like June 11th, I guess. It's 30 years since it came out.
Nah, man. No.
Yeah,
It's got to be only 20, right?
I saw that one in the theater.
Yeah,
Same.
93.
Although it's funny, the main thing I remember about that is that there were these two chicks, like two ladies sitting behind me. I went with my mom because I was just a kid or whatever, a teenager, I suppose. And there were just these two ladies behind me that just would not shut up. Like calling out. Like I forgot when. I think it's like when there's that was it like a triceratops or something that's like sick?
Yeah, and it's like
And then Laura Dern has to like stick her arm up the triceratops's butt or whatever, and like
yeah,
like this lady was just like, man, you can tell those are elephant feet, And like,
oh my God.
I was like,
The whole thing was a movie prop. I forget what the proper word is right now off the top of my head.
like
But
animatronic.
yeah. The whole thing was real. It wasn't elephant feet.
well, I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying.
No, I know, but I'm talking to the two ladies that were sitting behind you.
I should have turned around and explained that to her. But,
I know. What the hell, dude?
It's
Excuse
like,
me.
It's a
I,
robot.
I remember like going to see Jurassic Park as like the first time, obviously it was the first movie in DTS. It was like the first thing that hits the screen is the CD flying around the auditorium.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah, yeah.
whoa, and the sound is like blew me away.
I have like I guess it's like a thing people do now. Like they get they'll get like the original film reel that was shown like in the movie theaters back then, and they rip them. Like quote unquote rip them. Like I've got like an original 35 millimeter like digital version of Jurassic Park.
You mean scan them?
Yes, thank you. Yes. Yeah. So it's like you can like it's not touched up or anything, so it's not it still has all the little
yeah,
flex. Yeah, it's kind of fun to watch a movie that way, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I would
That's
prefer
the one I ever
a
saw it.
damaged copy, but like I mean, you can scan a 35 millimeter version that's not scratched up or dirty. But it
But then
just
you don't get
depends
the
on
original
personally.
experience,
Yeah, with like the cigarette.
No,
burn
the
marks.
original experience of mine was
like I want to
was
play
pretty
that.
damn
I want
fun.
to watch that and get like some rude people to come over to my house and like talk to the entire movie behind me. Like,
And that's why I don't go see movies in theaters anymore. Is the audience. Well, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah. Really quick, there's $2 from Dan B. Thank you, saying I lust for 3DO long boxes, and $9.99 from Beastly Panda, saying speaking of pinball, thanks Joe for showing off Devil's Crush in your latest video. Looking forward to trying it. And $5 from Matt Gurley, saying this is the holy trinity
Wow.
of YouTube gaming channels. Damn it, Joe, go for the long box set. It's only 104.
It's only 104, yeah.
Not counting variants.
Gurley sent me a few, more than a few.
The holy trinity of YouTube channels, but only one of the holy trinity like releases videos on a reliable schedule of any sort.
How dare you? I think in that scenario, I'd be the father, and then you're the son, and Joe is the Holy Ghost. It seems appropriate to me.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, and I still don't know what the Holy Ghost is.
I asked someone to explain that to me, who's like super, I go to church every Sunday, and they couldn't even.
Really quick, I know I'm trying to keep up here with the super chats too. There's Scott Snyder's been a member for 34 months.
Wow.
Saying, good evening, gentlemen. What is your favorite old game that you never played growing up but discovered as an adult and can't stop playing? You never played
That's hard to
growing
think
up.
of off the top of my head.
I mean, for me, an easy one, talk about turn in your gamer card. Like, I never played Streets of Rage, any of them, like when I had a Genesis. Like, I don't think I even knew about Streets of Rage.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't start playing like Streets of Rage 2 is like now like, top 5 Genesis game for me. But
Yeah. I mean, I would argue
that until I was an adult.
that Streets of Rage 2 is still like the best beat 'em up of all time.
I agree.
I don't think it can be topped.
Pretty tough.
And
People will argue about Streets of Rage 4, and that's fine. I still prefer Part 2.
yeah. I mean, like, I still think, like, I look at Streets of Rage 2, and it still looks amazing in every way, and it still, like, blows my mind, like, how much of an improvement it was from 1 to 2. Like, it's
hard to go back to 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it still sounds great, and it's still fun, but everything looks so small and so
Yeah.
choppy.
I mean, I'm pretty convinced that Streets of Rage 1 was made in, like, 6 months. Like, they had to just, like, they knew that they had to have something to compete with Final Fight. So they just, like, cranked it out, and then they had more time for Part 2.
Yeah.
To do what they really wanted to do. Because if they had, like, launched, if Streets of Rage 2 was Streets of Rage 1,
Oh, my goodness.
like, I mean,
yeah.
like,
That would have been a
nobody
really
would
good
be
game
talking
to
about
go up
Final
against
Fight
the
in
Super
any
Nintendo
capacity.
with.
The what?
That would have been a really good game to go up against the Super Nintendo with when it launched, because
Yeah.
when the Super Nintendo came out in the US, they had, Final Fight, and Street of Rage came out just right before the Super Nintendo launched. And that would have been a good one to come out with instead, but unfortunately they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But still, Street of
1
Rage
was-
got its props.
I mean, Streets of Rage 1, like, I think in some respects I like the music in Streets of Rage 1 more than 2.
I think that's a common opinion.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them equally, but for slightly
I
different reasons.
think that's something I've read or heard a lot. They're like, oh, the first one has the best music. I mean, I think I agree that the first two, the music is great in both of them.
Yeah, I mean, the first one has more bass, definitely
Yeah.
gives you more room shaking stuff in the music, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, there's Wall Street Kid.
Yeah. Use it or lose it.
When this is probably like 2006, I suppose. When I got a PSP when it came out, which would have been like, when did the PSP come out? Like 2004, 2005?
I think so, yeah.
Like, at some point I got a PSP like at launch, but after a while I ended up like soft modding it or whatever, and putting an NES emulator on it, and just that's the game I remember playing on it.
For some reason, like that.
I got this Wall Street, but I mean, it was like for like a week or something. Like that was my jam. It was like, where's my PSP? I got to play some more Wall Street Kid.
Just audio levels a little bit.
It's not bad, good, weekend rental type game.
Yeah. It almost looks like this ad makes it look like it's based on an Archie comic or something like that.
Yeah.
There's Sherlock Holmes.
Those are some awful pictures of Sherlock Holmes.
There's super bad photos of it.
Blown out, washed out.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you wonder if they be like, oh, we can't run these. Like, that's all we got.
I'm looking forward to you turning the page so we can see what kind of score Sherlock Holmes got.
Oh, it's just a.
They didn't review it?
I bet
Yeah,
I bet it's like continued on another. Yep, continued on page 26.
Oh, goody.
I don't know why they do that.
I love it when they do that. Then you got to go hunt it down.
I like it when they would
Makes
do
the
that.
magazine non-linear. The magazine is now Metroidvania.
Yeah, it's like a choose your own adventure. Really, I mean, sometimes it's like continued at the end of the magazine. Sometimes.
VG and CE did that a lot.
That's a pretty cool ad there for the game train. Like that almost looks like
Oh yeah.
train
Yeah.
part. It looks like something you'd see now, like a retro gaming shop using.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you even saw that. Like ads like that, I just don't even see.
I'm highly observant.
You care.
There was a super chat from Siswiv for $10. Thank you. Saying, speaking of the Chess Master in 1992 or so, there was a mail-in voucher for a free game when you bought a Game Gear at Sears. I sent it in for Shinobi, but got Chess Master instead. I was so bummed.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's like I guess everybody wanted Shinobi.
Who wouldn't?
What can we give them instead? You know, we got all these unsold Chess Masters that nobody wants. Let's just give them away.
I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah, right.
Like as a kid, like even if it was a bad action game, at least it was an action game. You
Yeah.
know?
I just, bought a Game Gear and some games like off of somebody who
Why?
lives like around in the area here, because he was just like going through all this old stuff and was like found all these old games and stuff, and he's like, oh, I have this Game Gear and like this deck of games. And Chris, since you're like you like baseball games, you ever play Clutch Hitter on the Game Gear?
No, I mean I haven't played much Game Gear. I never had one. Growing up or whatever.
You should boot that one up on the MIST and tell me how it is.
Clutch
How it
Clutch
compared.
Gear. Is that what you said?
It's a Clutch Hitter, I think it is.
Clutch Hitter. Sorry. Why
Yeah.
did I hear?
Why are we talking about that instead of Mega Man 3?
Man.
That's a pretty cool ad.
Yeah.
I like how it says anything else you need to know. I mean, it's Mega Man
Yeah.
3. that got me excited because I was a big fan of Mega Man 2.
Yeah. So where do you stand on Mega Man 3? Because there's a lot of people who say, oh, it's better than 2.
It is not. I mean, maybe not for me, but it's good. The first 3 are the best. The way I'd rank them would probably be 2, 3, and then 1.
Okay.
And then the others I don't really know much about.
Strangely, the first one is my favorite. I just think
That is pretty strange.
Very strange.
It's very strange. Everyone says that, but whatever. I think the music in the first one is like the best soundtrack.
No, you're absolutely wrong on that. Second has the best soundtrack.
Yeah.
The first one does have a good soundtrack, and the third one isn't too shabby either.
Yeah. But I felt like starting with 3, once they introduced the slide, it's like, all right, so now we're just making it more complicated.
No, they're making it more playable. One thing that pisses me off about pretty much all Mega Man games is whatever you need to shoot is not in your line of fire. You need to jump a little bit, or it's just like slightly below you. Thank you, Coury. I was about to slap my screen to kill whatever that was.
I've been after that thing since this whole thing started.
But yeah, it's always kind of a pain in the ass to shoot things in Mega Man because they're always right out of your line of fire, just barely.
Yeah.
It's like you can't duck, which pisses me off.
See, Saramaru saying Elect Man is the best theme. Yeah, I mean, I would say that Cutman is a very close second.
Yeah, those are good.
But I mean, I like them all. But like once you get to the Wily Castle, like the music is like the thing. I don't even care about the music at that point. But in the first like Robot Master stages, I think that Mega Man 1 has a better soundtrack. There's also 4.99 euros, or is it pounds? I think it's pounds from Zero X Alpha, saying I do love Joe's stop motion segments when he does them. Amazing stuff.
Thank you.
It's always.
I read that. I feel like I read that like an hour ago, and
I
it
know.
just took
I'm doing my best.
There.
Like usually, like going back and forth. Usually, like whoever's not playing is the one who's like keeping track of it. So I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Well, you might as well get the other one you missed.
Yeah. There was 11 reals from Gregorio Oliveira. Thank you. Saying MLiG plus GameStack equals Dream Stream.
Thanks, Gregorio. I like you too.
I just watched an episode on spiritual sequels, and it was awesome and fun as always. Keep it up. Joe, bring Dave back when possible.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you want
it's
to
like
talk to him? Would that help? Or
Yeah, do it. Do it. Do you know how to get in touch with him? I dare you.
no, you'd have to give me his number. But
Yeah, well, I don't even think he looks at any kind of social media at all. So it's like people try to message him. It's like, it's probably not going to see it.
I mean, Chris kind of looks like him a little bit. Or is it just me?
Yeah,
I mean, you both
kinda.
have brown hair and no hair and a beard. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I think, you know who looks more like Dave is that MVG guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. MVG's got those big, like Leonid Brezhnev eyebrows.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
he's like a bootleg Dave.
Yeah.
It would be funny to like have other people stand in as Dave, who like
I
look
feel
similar to him.
like without the beard, I kind of look a little bit like John Linneman.
Yeah, I can
see that.
I can see that for sure. All right, we got Gargoyle's Quest. Good game.
Gargle's Quest.
Gargoyle.
That's a great. Did you just say that was a good game?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Great game.
Okay. So, yes, it's like it's pretty good. I think that the sequels are better. Demon's Crest is amazing.
Yeah.
I just like that they're just like so bold as to say that graphics so real you forget it's only a game.
On the Game Boy.
Like real as compared to what?
Just like a real gargoyle that you see at the zoo.
Yeah, who's flying around and clinging the walls and doing like this like a marching walk. Jonathan Hinson had a $2 super chat saying, "I'm here for Chris."
Yeah, that's his Rob the robot back there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on extended
Dude,
loan.
Jonathan Hinson's amazing. I have like a
He borrowed his Rob the robot. I just said.
yeah. I have a PC CRT from him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we met in person before down in North Carolina, and he was like around here for work recently, but we didn't get a chance to meet up. Although I think unless it hasn't happened yet, because we talked about him saying I think that I'm gonna be in and around Cincinnati at some point. Although it might have happened, but we worked out where it couldn't happen, where we couldn't meet up.
Yeah.
Paul Sutton says MVG is Dave. MVG is Dave if mistakes were made. I like that a lot.
Now we got some Valis 3.
Valis, not Valise.
Not Valis. Valis.
Who the hell says Valise?
I was listening to Retronauts like 10 years ago, and I don't remember if it was Bob Mackey or Jeremy Parrish. Someone was calling it Valise. Cause I remember that because I was listening to it. And I'm like, oh, is that? Because I've always said Valis. I still say
Right.
Valis. I'm like, oh, is it Valise? I don't really know. I mean, what kind of word is that? It's not Japanese. It's like just a made up name.
No, in Valis 2 on the TurboGrafx 16, they say it out loud, but they say Varus. Because,
Now I don't know what to do.
yeah, but when Valis 3 came out, then they started saying Valis.
Warren Hoke used to say Valis. It's just one of those situations where everyone said it different, and there's no real way to know. And I mean, sometimes, I get like, oh, you say it this way, like in a video or something like that. It's like, well, that's how I've always said it. And a lot of times where I think I'm saying something wrong and I change it specifically to say what I think is right in a video, I am always wrong.
Yep, same. It's like, I can't remember what game I did that on. I think it was Consaden. I always
Oh.
called it Kinsaden,
Okay.
or I don't know what I called it, but I changed it for the video, and they said no, it's actually pronounced this way. It's like, oh, damn it, that's how I've always pronounced it. Why didn't I just say that?
Yeah, I called it Considon, I think. But
I can't remember what I said. It's all mixed up in my brain now. I'd have to go back to the first video I had it in and see how I pronounced it. And it was the opposite of that.
You guys probably call Ape Escape Ape Escape.
yeah, Ave Escape. Yeah.
Ape Escape.
Oh yeah, what do you call the blonde guy in Street Fighter 2?
Let's call him Ken.
No, not that. The other blonde guy, the American blonde guy. Well, the other American blonde guy.
Guile?
Guile.
Gwilly.
Oh.
Yeah. I've always said Guile, but there was
Yeah,
I've
I've
heard
always said
Gwilly
Guile,
and
too.
I've heard Gil before.
But I mean, guile is a word. Like that's. I feel like it's definitely guile, and I feel like anybody, because I'm sure, like in Japan, they would pronounce that differently.
Yeah.
But
I
feel
just like saying Guile to piss
guile
people
is
off.
gonna sound like
Michael's Workshop that says Gwilly, it's Italian.
Guile.
Gwilly is in the movie. I was laughing about how apparently Johnny Cage in the new Mortal Kombat game is like motion captured and voiced by Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it's just
Really?
funny that he's
I
like
thought he was voiced by Andrew Bowen.
well, I mean, for in this new in Mortal Kombat 1 that's coming out. They were saying that they got Van Damme to do it, which is weird.
He was bad enough as Guile.
Papa Gwilly.
Yeah.
Got Jackie Chan. This is a good game though. Look at how young
Doesn't
he
look
is.
at all like Jackie Chan though.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a teenage Jackie Chan, really.
No, it looks like someone else that's not Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
But yes, it is a good game.
Hey, wait, did we skip the score for?
No. Did we?
I thought it was
It
on
said-
page 26. I thought it said.
I think it says continued on page 26. So there is no score. They never gave it a score.
Those liars. That's it. I'm writing a letter to the editor. You said there would be a score, and there was no score.
Why would they
I'm
say
never buying
continued
your
on page
magazine
26?
again.
I don't feel like if it's the next page after an ad, do you really have to say continued on?
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say like it's literally the next page. Like why even say that? Like then everything should say
Right.
continued on the next page.
Right.
All right. We got more Valis. What game even is this?
Mendel's Palace.
Oh,
Duh.
lurking. It's just weird that it had this. You kind of have to search for it. I never played that. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, the only thing I liked about the ad was, it showed the slightest hint of cleavage on that chicken red up there, and that's the only thing I ever noticed. As a horny teen.
Yeah. What about not these two? kids
No,
here?
no.
I mean,
I always
Weirdo.
that's always where my eyes go, just because I got a friend that used to have a podcast, and that was like the artwork for the podcast was like that guy playing video games with his mom.
really?
Oh, yeah.
So happy.
I thought it was supposed to be his sister, but I guess it is supposed to be his mom.
She looks pretty old.
Yeah. More Valis. All right. Oh, we got some Mad Dog McCree. And nobody's excited about Mad Dog McCree.
Not even remotely excited about either of those.
Not what about Who Shot Johnny Rock? Like Johnny.
I'm
Who Shot
even
Johnny
less
Rock?
excited about Who Shot Johnny Rock.
Yeah.
I don't really do it anymore, but I used to just to kind of cut down the length of my magazine read-throughs. Like I would edit out pages, if I could kind of get away with it in a way that nobody would notice. Like this would be a prime candidate purchase. Like, oh, what
just
happened to
turn
page
it. No one cares.
34? Oh, I don't know.
Solstice. The the prequel to Equinox.
I know. All I know is Who Shot Johnny Rock did not work well with a light gun on my Sega CD.
Who did shoot Johnny Rock? Just
I really don't care.
worry about it.
Nobody's ever finished the game to figure out that.
Is that supposed to be some kind of like weird like rip off reference to Dallas, like Who Shot JR?
Probably.
Yeah.
I also don't know who shot JR though, so
Yeah, I don't care either.
please don't spoil it for me.
And Solstice. I mean, Solstice is very similar to The Immortal, I guess. Even the ads are.
I like how that dude has a very clearly fake beard and
Yes.
wig.
and neon green boots.
Yeah.
It's just like it feels really like we need to make this guy like stand out a little bit more.
Like the same shade of the shirt I'm wearing right now.
Oh, it is, yeah. It's just like, oh, like that's his attire is like this loincloth and neon green boots.
I mean, I don't know how the weather is where you live, but like around here it gets, over 100 this summer, and like don't poo-poo a good loincloth. Like I wouldn't go to the store in one of those things.
If I look like this dude, I would wear a loincloth as often as
Yeah,
I
no
could.
kidding.
Yeah.
Would you wear the fake beard and the wig?
Oh, I mean,
Well,
maybe.
You'd have to.
It depends on how warm it was out. Oh, we got Stormlord.
oh Lord.
This is like another,
Boring.
like this is Razorsoft. So Razorsoft, they annoy me because like their boxes were like they did like the black grid thing, but none of their stuff was licensed. So when I was trying to collect all the black grid,
What are you talking
Genesis
about?
stuff-
It is licensed. It has the Sega Genesis logo right there.
But then was it Technocop that was not licensed?
No, they were all licensed.
I
They
don't
were an
know.
official licensee. If you go to that,
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
right. If you go to that one ad that Sega ran like several months before this, where it lists all their third parties, Razorsoft is listed as one of them.
I mean, it's just weird that it's like in a cardboard box.
It came in a regular box, I
I
thought.
don't know what this is. That looks like a Canal Street,
Yeah.
stuff right there.
It's interesting that you just happen to have that so close. You could grab
very
it so
great.
quickly.
That's
You're like ready to talk about that, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I remember because they had to censor this because like the fairy
Yeah.
was topless in the Japanese version.
No. It was topless in the computer version.
Oh, okay.
And that delayed the game because I don't know. I guess they had to find a pixel artist to cover her up, and it delayed the game by several months. There was a big to do about it. And
Weird.
Accolade was.
I don't like that game.
licensed.
I have to say.
Why?
I don't know. Like when I first played it, like I think I had to talk about that like on two separate magazine read-throughs, and on the first one, like I played a little bit and I was like, yeah, this is stupid. And for whatever reason, like the second time I had played again, I was like, oh, I'm gonna check this out a little bit more. And like I feel like I didn't get the game the first time I played it.
I was actually playing that last night for some reason. I was checking 6-button compatibility.
Oh,
Wait, Stormlord?
I think
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty fun game.
It's not.
All right.
If you like ghouls and ghosts, Stormlord will blow you away.
You're right. And
But that's exactly the problem right there. Is if you play a game like that thinking you're playing like this side-scrolling action platformer, like that's 100% not what kind of game that is. Like that's
Right.
the worst thing you could put in an ad for your game because all you're gonna do is piss people off.
Right. And that's the quote that sold Dave on Stormlord because he saw that. If you like ghouls, Stormlord will blow you away. It's like, oh,
why I
I gotta
like
get
it.
Stormlord.
I need
Hey,
to-
And he was so looking forward to it, and he was so disappointed.
These screenshots are nice though, like these off CRT screenshots.
And they're not. Well, I mean, the shots are nice, but
Yeah.
what they represent aren't because it's just all
Right.
void.
Yeah, they look
Need some background.
they
in
look
there.
nice in the photos.
That
See?
that is that game could really use some background.
Right.
Retro Mags Brian says Stormlord came in a cardboard box. My copy was in a cardboard too.
I have to check my copy. I don't recall it being a. Maybe it's one of those things where they released it, like Electronic Arts made their own boxes, Accolade made their own boxes. Konami made their own boxes. Acclaim made their own boxes, and they're just like, yeah, we'll make our own too, and it's going to be cardboard because we're cheap.
Yeah. I have a copy of Desert Storm that is in a cardboard box. I think it's like Majesco probably, like maybe
Desert
did like
Strike. Desert Strike.
Desert Strike. Yes. Return to the
I
Gulf.
told you, I'm sending you a copy of Desert Strike.
I know.
In a clamshell.
Yeah, as
So you'll
it
quit
should
crying
be.
about it.
This is one of those things I didn't really care about in Game Pros. They had to devote so much space that they could have been showing games to a stupid comic.
Yeah.
And that pissed me off about Game Fan too.
Yeah.
And
Like, I want this stupid comic. What am I, 6? No, I want more games.
Yeah. And it's just
what
funny.
was the one called Nintendo Power? It was Nestor and somebody or somebody.
Yeah.
Howard and Nestor.
Yeah.
But that was only like one page. And this is 2.
That's got Michael Jackson in it.
It's
That's
got
pretty
Michael
awesome.
Jackson in it, yeah. I mean, I wonder if they had to get permission to do that.
Back then, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So it's really me. I mean, do they actually say... Oh, yeah, it's okay. So it straight up says Michael Jackson. You're not the Michael Jackson. Whatever. But, like, yeah, it just keeps on going.
And you're don't skip Pipe Dream. What are you doing?
I'm going to skip Pipe Dream. That's, you know... That's a prime candidate for skipping.
Whatever.
Right. And this Cryon's Quest,
Yeah.
or Cryon Conquest, it's like
Mega
so
Man.
much. It's like I never would have thought it was Mega Man just going by this ad.
Yeah.
And this ad looks very familiar to me, but it's mostly like strange, like old timey, like almost medieval artwork with a little bit of futurism in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I never would have thought. And the screenshots are so small.
Yeah.
It's like they had the worst ads.
It's definitely one of those games that I guess is pretty good, but there's no chance I would have like ever played this.
Right.
Just based on the ad alone. It feels too haphazard.
Right. I mean, there's a strange new world back then. No one knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Like, what is this? Like, oh, it's telling you don't turn the page. It's like this metal foot stepping on this.
That's the first time I got that. Is just like right now.
All right, so Gregorio Oliveira with another $5.50 reals, saying, "What about the guy who pronounced Ryu as Ryu?" I mean, I always said,
everybody called Ryu.
Right.
yeah,
Back in the day, nobody knew it was Ryu.
yeah. But I mean, even then, like
We all
I guess, like
Aiden because we didn't know any better.
Like I guess the correct way to pronounce it is Diu. Like the R is supposed to be, it's like Diu.
Yeah, like in Shenmue where they call him Dio,
Yeah, right.
but only some of the characters.
Did they do? I never played 3. Do they do? They do a similar thing?
I don't even remember. I don't remember much of 3.
Isn't that weird? Like how that just came and went.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot better.
Yeah, and they'll probably never have another chance. Although maybe they'll do another Kickstarter in 10 years. R-Type and Kung Fu Master, Game Boy, Metal Storm. And that's.
I was always interested back in then to try R-Type on the Game Boy just to see how it was.
I mean, I've played it. It's about as good as you.
Well, I've played it since then, but I'm saying my mindset back then is I wanted to try it.
Oh, all right.
I mean, there was just like no real outside of the TurboGrafx version. You know, there was
Joshua Helmicky threw a $1.99 and said, "No, guys, it's called Wise."
with the apostrophe.
Why apostrophe this?
Just picked up Wise book 1 and 2.
I mean, I called it that for a long time.
I call it that until I played the TurboGrafx version.
I was going to say, it tells you right in the intro how to say it.
I played it on the Master System.
Yeah, same. Where it had an apostrophe.
I didn't have a TurboGrafx to play it on. That was the reason I wanted one. but I never ended up getting
Well, I
it.
rented it on the Master System. I never bought it back in the day.
I still think it's a pretty good version.
That makes sense about the apostrophe though, because like my college roommate, he was a Master System kid, and we would talk about old games, and he called it Wise too. Like he also called it Wisem. So, but with the apostrophe there, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, without the apostrophe there, I still wouldn't know what to say without the game telling me. Like YS, not a word.
Metal Storm. That's like one of the games that I would like to own. But now
You don't have Metal Storm?
No.
What the hell, dude?
I know.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, it's one of those games that I wish that I had the forethought of getting before it was so expensive. Oh, there's your guy, Deja Vu.
Ron DeSantis. I just don't see it.
I see it a little bit.
I don't. I guess I just don't know what the real guy looks like very well.
I think I just got this game. Like I just got a cartridge of it I just got Shadowgate. I had this, and
I remember renting that game and just not having any clue what to do.
you should retry it now.
I have. I mean, and because I think after I beat Shadowgate, I was like, I'm gonna check out some Deja Vu, and I definitely thought it was a lot cooler. But I mean, at least like with Shadowgate, I mean, I'm sure you guys probably both beat Shadowgate without using a guide or anything because you're real gamers or whatever. But I needed a little bit of help, and I would say the same thing probably about Deja Vu.
I gotta apologize. I missed a $20 super chat from EB Chill 2. Sorry about that.
How rude.
Saying a
Seriously.
Coury GameSack Shenmue stream would be very cool. Have a
That
great
would be.
weekend. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I've never finished it, but that's the first game doesn't have like a fast forward like time skip at all, does it?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Well, we'd still have to beat it all in one stream, beginning to end.
I mean, could you do that in like a marathon? You think like a 24-hour? Like I don't even know how long it is.
Probably because I know that game so well by now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't though.
I mean, do you have you done like everything that basically there is to do in it at some point?
Oh yeah, yeah. Multiple
cool.
times.
I mean, there's times where I've tried it to play all the way through, and it's actually on my list of games that I want to finish this year. If I can ever.
The original Shenmue.
Yeah. So in our year-end video, we each picked like 10 games that we wanted to beat this year, and I've made it halfway through my list. But Shenmue is still on my my to beat list. We got $5 from Dan B. Thank you. Saying one time I rented Deja Vu, but I felt like I'd played it before.
Got RGT85 in the chat,
yeah.
causing up some trouble.
This is Joseph Redifer from the hit YouTube channel Soundsack.
In the flesh.
Yeah, I mean you'll upload stuff to Soundsack every once in a while.
Yeah, it's his favorite channel, really. He's always bothering me. Like, when are you gonna upload something to Soundsack? And I'm like, dude, just come on, every single day, every day.
Well, I mean,
He's so annoying.
I sometimes I feel like sound is your true passion.
It kind of is, actually.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's just like you remember like the DTS, and you like I love it when you do like I'm gonna review this movie I just watched, but I'm just gonna review like the sound mix on it.
Yeah.
And that's fun. That's fun. I mean, does that make it hard to go to like theaters and stuff these days?
Yes, it does.
So that's like the real
Yes,
reason
it's so
you don't
bad
like to
because
go.
I have no control over how they set their rooms up, and they play their trailers super loud.
Yeah.
And because they don't adjust the volume between the trailers and the movie, so the trailers come across super loud.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredibly annoying. It's like, oh my god.
So it like that's the reason is you just go there because you're
One
gonna
of
be
them.
like critiquing it basically.
Yeah. It's not fun. No, it's like it's someone just Henry says, Dolby Cinema heart emoticon, and even then, it's bad. I went to the Dolby Cinema, and the speakers were all rattling, and it's just like I just can't.
Well, I still have not been able to get the like your 5.1 sound, your 360 episode. I tried to get it like to play correctly on my PC, like go into. It's just like I don't know what it is about PCs and getting the like surround sound to work, but it just doesn't seem to ever. It's like
Yeah, I don't know. It's not, I received a comment from someone like a few weeks ago saying like, yeah, I just tried watching this video again and suddenly it's in surround, whereas it wasn't before. So maybe try revisiting it. Maybe YouTube, who knows what they do and how they deliver their stuffs.
Yeah.
So give it another try.
I was using Chrome. Henry Clark. All right, so Magician.
He says you got to work on Chromecast.
Yeah, I mean, I think I tried it even through like my Apple TV.
Yeah, I don't have an Apple TV, so I can't tell you if it would work there. It does work on the Roku with the YouTube app.
Oh, okay. I do have one of those in the living room.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, surround sound and HDR are just like crazy on a PC to get it to work right, I think.
Yeah. James is asking if there are any modern speakers that are still magnetically shielded. I do not know because I don't have speakers that sit next to a CRT anymore, so it's not really a concern of mine.
So there is actually this, like Bob from XRGB did a video on them. So Yamaha has a set of speakers that are magnetically shielded, and they, it's like the MS, like some product number, but they have MS at the beginning of the product number for magnetically shielded.
Magnetically shielded.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So, I mean, you can get like the 3-inch ones that are, I think they're like $180 each or something like that. All right. So Magician, I don't know. I never really even heard of this game. I got to admit.
Yeah. So let's move on.
Yeah. We can sit here and just, read the chat all night probably. I don't know. Either of you guys play this game?
No.
All right. Gremlins 2. I never played the Game Boy version of that. That's like a weird movie, though.
The NES version is pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. I think I played the NES version like years ago on stream.
Judging by those microscopic screenshots I see, it looks completely different from the NES version.
Yes, it looks like a side-scroller.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder
how the music is.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun to check out because I think that Sunsoft didn't really release many bad games that I can even think of during this time period.
It's weird how they're presenting the screenshots of that game.
Yeah.
Making it look, the shape of a TV screen instead of.
And it's yellow instead of green.
Yeah, well, they're probably using their wide boy or whatever it was.
That's true. That's true.
Did this?
I remember Color Dreams doing that Hellraiser game, and I don't think that ever came out, did it?
Yeah. Well, what about? Did any of these games come out? Happy Camper, Targon, and is it Starblade? Did any of these games come out?
I mean, none of those are ringing a bell with me, but I was never a Color Dreams fan. So
yeah, Color Dreams. That was before they went all like Jesus-y, and they were doing all this stuff.
Did they do the Bible game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they go from Hellraiser to the Bible.
Yeah,
like those, like, oh man, we got the Hellraiser license. Can't wait to make
right.
this game.
Seriously, they had to pay for that. They're going to release it on Nintendo Genesis and, for some reason, the Atari Lynx. And no, you're going to get Bible Adventures.
Yeah. Or, I mean, maybe Bible Adventures had come out Okay. Okay. Color Dreams and Wisdom Tree were the same
Yeah,
company,
yeah,
but they.
that's right.
I
We
guess
missed
they
a
had,
step there in their history.
did they become Wisdom Tree, or did?
I think they became Wisdom Tree. Like they were bought out by some religious folk and became Wisdom Tree.
Wisdom Tree. There is $5 from Mega X6 with no comment. Thank you. Mega X6 makes an appearance every week. All right, what do we got here? Conquest of the Crystal Palace. It's another game I guess is pretty good. I've never played it. I'm more concerned about RoboCop on the Game Boy.
I think it's kind of cool how it says on the Game Boy with a
It's like going into the
3D version of the Game Boy drawn there with the headphones
like
plugged
it's
in.
like so epic.
You want to listen to this in stereo, boys and girls. It's that good.
I've mentioned it before on stream, but I still laugh every time I think about going to see RoboCop. My dad taking me to see RoboCop when I was 7 in the theater. And like I wonder if he thought during the entire movie if he thought I shouldn't have done this. Probably not. I don't think that he probably felt bad or
Yeah, I remember seeing that when it came out, and it's like rated R. And I think my uncle took me, and I ended up thinking about that movie for days, especially where the guy gets hit by the car and splatters all over the place.
turns like
It's
the
like, oh my god, I'd never seen anything like that before. It's
Yep.
so traumatic on my young little mind, but at the same time, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So I love that movie.
Yeah, it's still pretty good, but I mean, like that's one of those movies. It was supposed to, it was gonna be rated X,
Yeah, yeah, because they had to tone down one of the scenes.
and it's
Yeah.
it's amazing to me that they like can trim like literal frames from like violent shots, and it will like change the rating.
I don't think they get that specific. They just say we made changes, and they submit it again. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, what did you cut out? Oh, we cut out a little bit of this thing. Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought that they had. Like,
I don't think the people watching it is like, ooh, I noticed 3 seconds less blood.
but I
don't
wonder
think
if
they
they
were-
had to say like it can only show like extreme violence for this amount of time. Like when he
I think so.
shoots his hand, you can always tell like there's
Yeah.
like an immediate cut when it happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they restored all that for the Blu-ray.
Oh, did they? They put like the.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really change much, honestly, from my memory. But it seems the same to me. But apparently, it's all still there in the Blu-ray now,
Really?
and it doesn't seem that much different. But I'm just glad it's all there.
And nobody would even think about not rating it R at this point.
No, oh no. I'm sure that could get away with a PG-13 these days, just as long as it had no cuss words or
Probably.
kitties.
Great movie though.
Oh
The
yeah.
sequels not so much. Although I've only seen the second one a couple times. And I think I've only
Yeah, I've
seen
seen
the
the
third one
second
once.
one. I haven't seen the third.
Third one, they get a new actor to play him, and that's the one where he gets the jetpack.
Yeah, I don't know if I could really deal with a different actor playing him. I mean, granted, he's mostly covered up, but still, just seems weird.
Yeah. Oh, there's a $20 from Elk Plays and Paints. Thank you. Saying your RoboCop stories reminded me of how my mom took me to a drive-in theater to see South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut when I was 9, even though she didn't let me watch the show. Parental logics, fellas.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my dad took me to, like, we would see my dad every Saturday, and usually, like, the first half of the day would be him just, like, sleeping on the couch, like, sleeping off his hangover from, like, the night before, and then we'd go see a movie, usually, and, that's how I saw, like, all kinds of good stuff that I probably wouldn't have seen, although my mom took me to see, like, stuff that is surprising too. So I just didn't think about it. I remember when I came back from going from spring break, and my mom's saying, I just went and saw Aliens in the theater. It's so good. I want to take you to go see it. Which is awesome, you know. Like
I think there's nothing wrong with Aliens.
No.
Anyone could see that.
But she was like, you got to watch the first one first, though. But I mean,
well, I mean, I guess
that was what, 85.
The second one is definitely a lot better in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
yeah.
And I mean, but there's a lot of people that will. So same people that will probably think that the first Terminator is better than the second.
First Terminator is not better than the second.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that will go to bat for that first one, even though like the first one is great.
The first one is fantastic. The first Terminator is better than the first Alien, and you know they both just really came out swinging for their second movies.
Mm-hmm. Which one has the better sound mix?
What? Which one?
I don't know. Terminator 1 or Alien. I don't know. Are they even comparable? I don't know.
Terminator 1 is in mono, so
oh, okay.
It's always been in mono.
Yeah.
I think they've remixed it for the Blu-ray, and it's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is it to do that? Though
pretty hard if you wanted to get it to sound similar, because otherwise you have to like redo all the sound effects, and they sound completely different. And a lot of the dialogue and the Foley effects, it's just tough.
Yeah, I mean,
look at these crazy people saying like, "Oof, no, Terminator 1 is way better," and some other guy said that he likes Terminator 1 better as well. That Terminator 1 is absolutely better than T2. Alien is better than both. No. Alien legit is one of the greatest films ever made. That I disagree with. You know who doesn't like the movie Alien? Epileptics. Because that will absolutely destroy them at the end of the movie where there's all these strobe lights flashing.
Oh, yeah. I never even considered that.
I mean, I'm not an epileptic, and it makes me want to be one because I'm about to go nuts during that whole sequence.
Alien is better than most movie ever created. I mean,
no, that individual is wrong.
Although, Osho is saying Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is good, but I can't watch. It's hard for me to watch the entire movie in a single go. It's like I can watch scenes and it's good, but if I watch the whole movie, it's like it gets tiresome. So, just watching a few scenes here and there it's great. But the whole thing,
Yeah. Although you know, when I put it on and doing something else, you know,
it's better that way.
And it's not a long movie at all. I feel like I remember it being longer. Game Chaser is saying, "Unsubbed, I'm out. Have a nice life. God bless."
Well, we need to know why you unsubbed.
He's what? Like, bye forever. Little Ninja Brothers. I don't know. So are these I feel like these characters were in a lot of different things. Is that just me? Does that sound familiar to you guys?
I could never get
Chris
into
over
the
there doing
Culture Brain
crossword
games.
Puzzles.
I could never get into the Culture Brain games. I always felt they were official, but for some reason they just felt like, I don't know.
What about Baseball Simulator 1000?
It's just, I don't know. I just couldn't get into them. Culture Brain. It's like no one ever talks about. You know why I couldn't get into them? Because their ads, they came on this weird feeling paper.
Yeah, like oh.
What?
Okay. I mean, sometimes it's
maybe not this one, but a lot of the Culture Brain ads were like multiple pages, like 5 or 6 pages, and the quality of the paper was super low compared to the rest of the magazine. And it just made me think Culture Brain was super low quality compared to anything else in the magazine.
But Chris, you do like this. You like Baseball Simulator 1000.
Oh, that's in the conversation for best baseball game on the NES.
Was there ever a 2000, or was that like 1000? Like you gave me a rundown of the history of it. I forgot what it was.
On the Super Nintendo, the 1000 like refers to batting average, so it would be completely nonsensical to make Baseball Simulator 2000.
Okay.
Although technically you could have a slugging average of 2,000 or more.
Okay.
All right.
Exciting stuff. How do you pronounce that other game that's right next to it?
Isn't it like the Maz-
Scheherazade.
What is it?
Huh?
Scheherazade?
Scheherazade.
Oh.
Scheherazade.
The font sucks. It's hard to read.
Yeah,
Is that
I could never even read that. Although
I don't know
says it-
what's like the proper term, because obviously it's not font and it's not really typeface either. But then what do you? Because I always catch myself doing that. Like I would just call it a font too, but I'm like, obviously that's wrong. But what's not wrong? Like
the logo sucks.
The
readability sucks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not be able to tell what that even says.
Yeah, it's not a font.
Like it just has. I like that. It's funny that it's just right up here at the top. It's just like plain text also.
Yeah.
Because they knew the people wouldn't be able to figure it out.
We know you can't read this shit.
There was a $4.99 from Joshua Helmicke. Thank you. Saying Alien 5, Satan's Counterattack is the best Alien movie. Well, I think Alien 5 was technically Covenant, which I forgot even came out until I was talking to somebody on Friday about it. I've never seen it. So, Alien 6 would be Satan's Counterattack.
Looks like Monty DM'd me to get some of those Game Sack stickers.
Oh yeah. you have to dig them out, unless you already know where they are. I mean, do you just send them out usually?
Yeah, I usually just grab a few and send them out.
Werewolf: The Last Warrior, which is I used to always think, like, why does he have like these blades for both hands? Like, how do you even function in life?
How does he pee?
Yeah.
Just lets it flop around.
Yeah. Like, how did he make it to an adult werewolf with swords
Poor
for
bastard.
arms? I don't know. But Paul Sutton says it's legit though. It's Data East. I mean, chances of it being good are probably better than most.
No, he said Warwolf is legit. He didn't say Werewolf. The Last Warrior was legit.
Warwolf is the sequel. Maybe. Oh, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is a good game.
It's okay. I mean, it has some good elements, yeah.
Yeah. I never really played the second one. I have the second one, but I've barely played it. It just seemed like more of the same. But I remember... I have weird memories about this game specifically because I had rented it. And that was the day that... so my brother, was older than me, would always like pick on me, push me around and everything. And like, I remember I was playing G.I. Joe from a rental. And it was like the last time he ever did that because I was finally able to fight back. And I got him in like a headlock and he couldn't do anything. And that was like the last time he ever like picked on me. And G.I. Joe was running in the background.
The thing you said you have on like video, like because your dad was filming something at the time?
No, that's years earlier. This was...
Oh. All right.
I was in 6th grade and going into 7th grade. But that was... This game was on the TV in the background when I took him down. We got 2 more super chats. We got $5 from Master Sugar Bear saying, "I listen to y'all while building my new magazine display stand. It's very therapeutic."
I want to see that magazine display stand.
Is it spin maybe? Done. I have to throw in my strategy guides and Prime cheat code books. Or Prima cheat code books.
Prima.
Warwolf was the original Famicom title. Actually. There's also $4.99 from Robert Hernandez. Thank you. Saying thank you for the stream. Using this opportunity to give my young son a history lesson. Lots to learn from these old magazines. For sure. For sure. I mean, I just think it's fun to go back through them like this. This feels really weird that this is only being reviewed at this point, because I feel like Castle of Illusion was like...
And why doesn't it have like completely red spaz faces for the reviews? Why are there orange spaz faces in there?
That's surprising. But I feel like it wasn't it like a launch window game?
No.
Really?
It definitely was not.
I like how some guy just finishes telling you that he's giving his kid a history lesson, and like that's the next thing out of your mouth.
Right.
That I don't know. I don't know. Like it feels like 1991 is late for that.
Well, it was like a late 1990 game, so
Okay.
being a February 91 issue is not that out of line at all.
Okay. Great game though. Great game.
Yeah, I've played it.
Yeah, it's like it's Joe. It's like in your. Would you say it's like in your top 10 all time?
I don't really like ranking games,
Yeah.
but it's definitely one of my favorites.
You've
Well,
finished it more times than.
Like that one so much, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on Quackshot.
Quackshot's good too. I don't like it as much as Castle of Illusion, but I like it's a Metroidvania, so that's good. But yeah, it's a good game. Just not as good.
Chris just finished it, Quackshot, for the first time.
Wow. You like
Yeah, and then
Quackshot?
I mentioned that it took me a few days because I would kind of get a little frustrated, put the controller down, and so then like literally that Sunday, he had to stream himself beating the game, on stream, just to stick it to me.
Well, you were sick.
Like passive aggressive much?
You were sick. It's okay. I think if you were not sick, you probably would have finished it.
Not the good kind of sick, No. Like I wasn't like sick.
No, you were like really sick. All right. Oh, I got some Joe Montana.
Nice.
So, Chris, did you play this when it first came out, or like close to when it came out?
Not on the Genesis. I had it on the home computer, which was interesting because the game looks completely different. Instead of being like vertically scrolling, it's like Tecmo Bowl. It's horizontally scrolling. But what's interesting is it reuses a lot of the same sound effects.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's a completely different game, though.
Hey, Coury, ask
Yeah.
me.
Oh, Joe, what do you think about Joe Montana football?
No, ask me the same question. Did you play it when he originally
Oh,
came
did
out?
you
Yes,
play
I
it when
did.
it first came out?
Yes, because I had bought John Madden football and absolutely loved it, and I was wanting more, and then so I bought that, and it's still a good game. I learned, I think, right before I bought it, it was made by the same group, and but kind of in a rush, and it has its limitations, but I still found it enjoyable. First Madden's still way better though.
Yeah. Well, Madden 92 was like the best Madden. Just because.
Yeah, why is that the best Madden? Can you remind everybody? Now that you've seen it live.
I think the second one is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That,
this is the story that you may not know that Coury may not want to repeat.
well, I mean, I always thought that the ambulance was like funny.
Yeah.
The ambulance.
I love the ambulance running over the players. That's awesome. And plus, it used the same graphic engine from the first one, which was good. Once they started changing them up, it started looking a little uglier, in my opinion.
And when they get hit, they're like, "Oh, it's not doing it."
Yeah. Yeah, they yell. It's like, oh,
You made those for me.
I know.
And
But
I use them all the time. I love them.
I would have thought it would be funny. Ambulance rolls out onto the field to pick up some injured player, and then it, of course, runs over other players on its way to get there. But it'd be funny if they sent other ambulances out to get rid
To
of
get the rest of them.
once everyone ran over. That would have been funny. It just 5 minutes of nothing but ambulances getting rid of everybody.
But then I saw the ambulance on the field when I was at the Bengals and Buffalo game in January, and I was in the bathroom when the injury happened.
Oh, when the
injury
guy
was bad enough that they canceled the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't know I was in the
You were
bathroom
there?
when I came
you were
out.
there at that game?
What? Yeah, I was
didn't know you were
there.
at that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. My friend Chris.
No relation.
No relation. He lives down in North Carolina, and he came here for that game. And then that happened. I mean, I was in the bathroom. I didn't know what had happened. And I come back, and I'm immediately oh, it's like Madden. But then it's when I see what happens, oh my God, I didn't, obviously, I didn't realize because in the bathroom.
When because I was watching on TV when that happened, the first thing I thought of was Coury's love for Madden 92, and I was thinking man, he's not gonna think the ambulance coming on the field is funny anymore if he's any kind of human being.
Right.
But now we know better.
I mean, in the context of the game.
Yeah.
And it's it's the sound effects that do it.
Yeah.
The ambulance makes the same the goal sound from NHL hockey. Or is it different? It might. I don't know if it's very close.
I've got an idea. Let's move on.
Let's do that.
Welcome to Streaming with Coury.
Yeah.
It's better than with Try. He would never shut up. I'm just gonna keep talking and talking.
So here we got a bunch of Genesis games. I like that they show Spider-Man and they just show this, this artwork of Spider-Man. It's not even from the game. They must have just gotten the license. And it's even here. It says it says Ghostbusters 2 for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
And that shot from Castle of Illusion in the bottom right is not a screen from the game.
Oh, really?
No, that's not in there.
Man, it makes you wonder where, if it had to have been in there at some point, right? So
I imagine. I mean, they had a mock-up at least of that.
Yeah. And there's Buster Douglas boxing. What is Chris, you know what the Japanese...
Final Blow.
Final Blow, okay. It's kind of a good-looking game. The characters.
Yeah, I thought so.
Characters.
I really like the title, Final Blow.
Yeah. Yeah. Not quite as good as Muscle Bomber, the body explosion.
Rambo 3 also, I don't believe that screen is in the game.
Where's that one?
The second row.
Oh, right
in
here.
The middle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think that's in the game. I mean,
So-
something that looks similar is in the game, but that you can't do that in the game.
Yeah.
There was $5.50 reals from Gregorio Oliveira again. Thank you. Saying, do you remember any stories about supposed neutral magazines' websites being paid to publish positive reviews? I don't know. I feel like it was really rare for just scathing reviews of games.
Well, I remember when EGM did the Total Recall review.
Right.
And I think we talked about this with some of the actual people who were there, didn't we?
Yeah.
And how they wouldn't... how was it Acclaim who released it? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But they stopped advertising in EGM for several months because of the review that game got.
But other than that, I mean, I feel like EGM and then later GameFan were the only ones that were overly negative about stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't like GamePro is they would never ever criticize. The best they would get is giving it a a slightly non-spazzy face at the end of the review.
Yeah, just like this.
Yeah.
This guy who looks like he's like just slightly stoned.
Yeah.
And there was Zane's dad has been a member for 28 months in a row. Jeez. Saying moving big gaming collection sucks. Moving sucks. Mag reading is a nice respite. Thanks. Yeah, I never want to move again.
What was that, Joe?
Respite.
Yeah.
Respite. Is that I say respite or I say respite?
You said respite.
Okay.
That's okay. I would have said that too.
Yeah, I'd never want to move again. So, definitely.
Are you in a forever home, Coury?
I feel like this is a forever home. Yeah.
Is that
That's
your
good.
bag and tag home? That's what my neighbors call their house.
No what?
Their bag and tag home.
What does that mean?
Like the house they want to die in. Like we're gonna stay there and die.
Jesus.
Sounds like being here and bag and tag us. Funny because they're in their like late 60s, so it's like that's happening pretty soon. You have a pretty cavalier attitude about death, considering that you're
They're
staring.
gonna tag you in the home.
Yes. Like you realize I'm gonna probably have to see that happen. You know, oh wow, they really did get bagged and tagged.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I'd never want to move again. And,
Yeah.
you know, each time has been progressively more difficult. Like the last time, just moving
Yeah.
into this house, because we only got movers for like a few hours one day. So to move the rest of the stuff, it took us like about 2 weeks.
Jeez. How far away is it from the other home?
It's like 7 minutes away.
Not too bad, but that house you came from was like 3 levels.
Yeah.
So it had to be fun getting a lot of stuff down the stairs.
Oh my God, it was horrible, honestly.
And all your game stuff was on the very top floor.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I never want to do it again. And now I'm
No.
all like, this is all in the basement, so I wouldn't need to. Like,
Yeah, now you only have to worry about your basement flooding.
Yeah, but I've like taken a lot of precautions and stuff, and you know,
Oh, yeah?
we had this thing called like EverDry waterproofing, where it's like stuff behind the walls, and it like it creates like a canal for any water that might come in, and it goes into like a big sump pump pit and pumps it way out into the backyard. But still, you know, I still think about it, and basically everything down here is at least on like feet, like off the ground a little bit.
Yep.
But you know, like if it really flooded in here and like filled up with water, I don't even know what I'd do. I would
Would you quit your channel?
I'd probably quit the channel, yeah. I mean, Joe, your stuff is all in your basement, right?
Yeah, well, this is on the main level.
Okay.
Most of the game stuff, most of the retro game stuff is in the basement. That room has never flooded. The studio where I shoot the talking head stuff, that room has, but then I made it so the water moves away from the house and covered the window wells, and it has never flooded since. That room hasn't flooded since I started making GameSack.
Okay.
And then the other part of the basement floods. I posted that on Twitter like a month ago or wherever. And recently we regraded it so the water will flow away, because it was kind of flowing back into the house. So we just made it so it flows out into the yard now. So it should be okay, hopefully.
It feels good to get stuff done in your house like that.
Yeah, it really does.
And Chris, you were having flooding. Have you had any flooding since you like?
Well, I
made
feel
the
like calling
fixes?
it flooding is sort of overstating. You know, there's like a little bit of water dripping down the wall. So, like, I don't want to sound like a drama queen and say that my basement was flooding, but you know, it's bad enough just because it's a finished basement. You know, there's carpet down here and whatnot, and so you know, any water is too much water. But I think I've got it like 90% fixed. So we'll find out. You know, we don't get rain here outside of winter, really. So,
But I mean,
we'll see
you
what
had a lot of rain this year.
Well, yeah, that wasn't helping. We had like, torrential rain for like a month at least. So.
All right, there's a couple of other super chats. I did see Paul Sutton's super chat saying $19.99 saying $20, but you have to straighten the magazine and move the trackball out of frame, and I've done that.
I appreciate that because I posted above that. I said, "Can someone tell Coury to straighten that magazine and move the trackball out of the frame?"
I know I'm not a professional magazine reader.
I appreciate it. Well, clearly.
And there was also Nana Cheesecake has been a member for 6 months in a row.
Wow.
Saying, "Oh wow, it felt like only a few weeks. Time flies when the content is this good." Well, you're here. Were you here last week? I'm pretty sure you're here last week. So this DJ Boy, Chris, you gave me your old copy of that.
Yeah.
And
you guys have the US version because they changed it up.
Yeah, it's the US version. It's just interesting because there's like on that box, there's no screenshot of the game.
Interesting. I've never seen the US version.
Hang on, I got it right here. Hang on.
Oh yay!
It's a little rough, but it's like look at the back. It's almost like a Mega Drive game.
Wow, it's like we're not too proud of this one. You guys
It's
just
not a
have to
bad
trust
game.
us.
Although this did belong to Brunner.
B Runner. Well, what was the sequel called in the arcade? Something like B Street Boys. B Runner reminds me of that for whatever reason.
I didn't know they made a sequel.
They did.
It's a pretty good game. It looks good in screenshots, and I did want to play it.
DJ Boy, not DD Boy, and not JJ Boy.
Right. Was there was it called different things?
No.
Or did people mess it up a
No,
lot?
someone asked, is it DJ Boy or DD Boy or JJ Boy?
Oh, because it looks like the D. It could possibly be two Ds. All right.
Sinistron.
I've never played this, but I do recognize like the tentacles or whatever on the front. It's like a.
You have no excuse to not have played every single US release for that console by now. It's okay. I mean, it could be worse. I like it better than what's that dumb Psychosis? I think it's better than Psychosis. I couldn't get into that one. B-Rap Boys. That's what the DJ Boy sequel is called.
Oh, B-Rap Boys?
Yeah, it's arcade only.
But this is pretty good though. I mean, decent enough.
It's okay. It's better than Psychosis.
They all kind of, I guess, like blur together.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that screen up at the top right corner there?
Mm-hmm.
You think how awesome that would be with parallax scrolling? Guess what? There's none.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks like it's specifically made to parallax scroll.
Right, and it does not. And
Like
that's
they
kind
had
of
planned to
disappointing.
make it parallax scroll, and then they realized, we can't do this.
I don't know if it's based on an arcade or not, because if it wasn't, then they really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I'll give that game a shot tomorrow. Just because.
You won't.
You probably not. Oh, here it is.
Oh,
a real
yeah.
hot dog.
Oh, I love how... Is this the one where they get the specs wrong, too?
Oh, really?
I don't know. I can't quite see.
Oh, I mean, I can probably zoom in here.
That looks like a really good hot dog. I just want to
It
say.
does look like
No,
a
it does not. No
Why?
greens on the hot dog.
You don't like relish?
No.
Okay, because that to me, that's the one thing where if I was making that, I'd get the relish out of there.
Okay.
But I mean, I'd still.
I don't want onions either.
Oh.
I can't really quite see it because it's off the screen now, but mustard is fine for me. And I don't know what those tomato slices. What the hell?
No, dude, tomato slices on. See, it's kind of weird having tomato slices and ketchup, I would say. But if you've never had tomato slices on a hot dog, you should. It's very.
No, I absolutely should not because I hate tomatoes.
Oh well, then yeah, you definitely should. I think it's a little bit weird. You hate tomatoes, but okay.
No, it is not weird. Tomatoes are weird. You're weird.
There's a place
Okay,
in New
wait, no,
York
why
that-
did you zoom out? I want to read
Oh.
those specs.
Right, sorry.
Okay, so 4,096 simultaneously colors. Wait, okay, let me just start over. 4,096 simultaneous colors displayed at one time. That's not redundant. But NEC, the TurboGrafx 16, can somehow do 512 simultaneous colors displayed at one time. No, it cannot. It's in the 480 range, so it's not far off. But Sega 64, it's actually 63, but we didn't know any better. Nintendo doesn't even give you a number.
It doesn't give you a number, it's just like tiny. This is a tiny little
Right.
bar that doesn't even...
Yeah, it's, 380 sprites, character power, Neo Geo 380, NEC 80, no, that's Sega. Sega 64, no, that's NEC. Nintendo, they don't give you a number.
It's like this, so little for Nintendo.
Yeah, so they screwed that up. They got NEC and Sega backwards, those assholes. Okay, now next is 15 sound channels, 7 channels dedicated to real voice speak. Can you believe that? Real voices? Oh my God. They can't do any other digitized sound. They must be used for voices. So you can have 7 people talking simultaneously. Can you believe that, Coury?
Is that all
Real
the
voice
voices
speech.
in Blazing Star, right?
Yeah, and they have to be
they
talking
can say
simultaneously. Up to
bonus.
7. They can't play digitized sound effects.
they can-
Voices only. Okay, so NEC can do 10 sound channels. Wrong. Sega 6. Debatable. And then Nintendo, you don't get a number. So they got those backwards again. Sega should be 10 because it has the 6 FM and then the 4 PSGs, or the 3 PSGs and 1 noise. And then NEC is the 6.
So they're just like making stuff up, or they saw like all this stuff on a piece of paper and like attributed the wrong things to.
No, they just got it backwards. They're just whoever put together the ad didn't know, and it didn't go through any eyeballs who did know.
I was gonna say like, I mean, Joe said no greens on your hot dog, but Chris,
Okay, we
you
can
ever had a
pan back up to the hot dog now.
yeah, the hot dog here. You ever had? There's a place in New York that used to have these hot dogs, and they put avocado and bacon on them.
No, I'm good with just mustard, man.
I've had that. That's good.
Avocado and bacon.
Yeah, there's a place near me that like, they get a hot dog, they wrap it in bacon and grill it, and then they put avocado and like pico de gallo salsa on it,
Oh, that's good.
and then it's in like a brioche bun. That's
Yeah.
really good. But I also agree with Joe. Like, I'll go to Wiener Schnitzel and get a mustard dog and be extremely happy with that.
Speaking of Wiener Schnitzel, we stopped there, Yoshi and I, in California, because they used to be here in Colorado, but they don't seem to be anymore. And I got a mustard-only hot dog. It wasn't very good.
No,
I don't know. Wiener Schnitzel just
or like high cuisine, but it's definitely
right.
And
And I
for
know
what,
we all.
it's like, I mean, what's on a mustard? You just go to the store and just buy some hot dogs and buns, and you probably already have mustard. So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But remember, Coury, when we were out in Chicago, we all went to that big-ass place
Yeah.
that had hot dogs, and they were okay. They were
Yeah,
okay.
I don't remember. I don't think I had one. But you, I feel bad that when you were here, I didn't take you to like a Skyline or something like that. Or did
What's
I?
a
I didn't-
Skyline?
You should be happy. He should be happy. That
Or
you
did we
didn't-
go to Dixie Chili? I don't think we did any of that stuff.
I don't know. I don't know where we went, but what's a Skyline?
It's just Skyline Chili. Like it's like
Oh.
you can get like chili
No, we didn't
dogs.
go to any chili places.
Yeah, it's like a real missed opportunity. Maybe I hadn't been very much at that point. I have a couple of extra cans of it. If you want me to send you a can of Skyline chili, and you can make it and then put it on a hot dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like chili dogs.
Yeah. And that's already in your box, Chris. I have like three cans.
The trackball's
But,
on the screen again.
Sorry.
Joe, yeah, come on. Joe, if you put chili on a hot dog, do you put anything else on the hot dog, or do you just want just the chili?
I'd put cheese on it if I did that.
Okay. But, like, have you ever tried putting like mustard on a chili dog?
No.
Oh,
That's
pretty-
just weird.
It's pretty good.
It is. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what the
Like, just make a
Conies
hot
are
dog.
like here.
Put the mustard in it before you stick the
Well,
chili.
right.
It's really good.
Be weird to put the mustard on top of the chili.
I don't know. You
James
could.
Boone says, Skyline is like a plate of spaghetti covered in cheese and diarrhea, but it's really good diarrhea.
It's very divisive as an
I
issue.
feel like I'd have to eat that with a fork at that point.
Oh yeah. I mean
Spaghetti,
the
of course
chili you
you-
put it on. It's like the Cincinnati chili. It's like on spaghetti.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you can also get it on hot dogs, like like a cheese coney with the chili on it. Oh, there's like a ton of super chats. I got to catch up on it. That's all right. I'll move to the next page unless we want to talk about Superstar Soldier.
Yeah, well, I mean, Soldier Series game, pretty good, but whatever.
Yeah, it's neat.
Is that like Soldier Blade's the best one, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What's better between Superstar Soldier and Final Soldier?
I prefer Final Soldier, but I can see how others might like Superstar Soldier. It's kind of just a preference thing, in my opinion.
I feel the same way. I mean, I feel like sometimes Final Soldier gets dumped on a little bit, but I really like it. And Superstar Soldier is just like, yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Isn't
Yeah.
Final Soldier's a lot easier? I've heard.
It's
Is
the
it?
easiest one, yeah. Like I've said that on my show before. As like a recommend, like people that want to play shooters but feel like, oh, I'm just not good at shooters. Play Final Soldier. It's a good beginner shooter.
Yeah. I feel like that's true for Gate of Thunder is a good beginner shooter, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. There was $11
Go back to
Canadian
the
from
conversation we were having yesterday in the chat about shooters and making analogies. Like if you play Final Soldier, Final Soldier's definitely giving it up on the first date.
I would watch it. Like I said, I would watch an entire video where you.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that's how you describe different shooters.
I could keep going, but I'm not going to.
All right, so there was $11 Canadian from Lewis Martins. Thank you. Saying, hey, Corey, Chris, and Joe, really great to see you guys in the same stream sharing these amazing magazines with people. Their gaming history on print, and they are awesome. You guys rock. Thank you. So Lewis did a lot of the artwork for Paprium.
Mm-hmm.
And many other things. There's also $5 from Nana Cheesecake, saying I'm here most every week. I usually drop in a $5 on you, like this with this obligatory Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
You got a problem with Sundays?
No, it just reminds me of people.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We talked about it in the podcast before. There's a guy I work with, Dave. If you ever run into Dave on a Monday, hey Dave, what's up, man? It's Monday.
Every time.
No kidding, dude.
Every time.
Yep.
There's things I want to say, but I don't know what I can say on this chat, if I can swear or not. So I'm not saying.
Yeah,
it.
say
can.
F
Always got
Mondays.
Horribly filthy mouth, so I think you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Well, I just know like Try never ever swears, not even in real life.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what the level for this stream is.
It depends. I mean, sometimes things slip out from me, when I want to make a point about something.
I feel like on the podcast, a lot of stuff slips out from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little more free on there. And then I found out, my kids were listening to it on the.
Yeah, and he was like, and then remember I mentioned that, and you were like, I don't care if my kids listen to the show. I don't effing give an F.
Didn't say that.
You got to learn it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was also $2 from Rally Lancer. Thank you. Saying, hey, it's Joe. I know that guy. He owns Green Dog.
I do have Green Dog.
And Andy64 has been a member for 16 months in a row.
In a row?
Saying, hey guys, what retro style games you're most looking forward to in 2023 or 2024?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff that I'm looking forward to. I mean, I just can't think of anything else other than Zelda right now, though. I mean, that's not a retro style game, but have put so much time into Zelda, and I
I'm
haven't
playing
finished it yet.
Street Fighter 6 and Doom Eternal.
Oh wait, you are playing those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
It
about
was
getting
not
Street
retro
Fighter 6.
style, but what?
I was thinking about getting Street Fighter 6. It's pretty good. I've heard.
Yes, it is. It's a good. It's a good.
That's cool. Because I think with 5, I didn't get it right away because I thought,
Yeah.
like, oh, they'll come out with like a more characters on disc or something like that. And I think that like
with Street Fighter 6, it's not about the characters. I mean, there could be more, but it's about the world tour mode.
yeah,
And it's just like big, like almost like open world thing, and it's pretty fun. It's really fun. It's like, I don't know. You remember like Tekken 6? I think a couple of other Tekken games had it too. They had them like kind of like RPG mode. It's like that, but I feel it's a little better.
yeah. I mean, that's I only play the Mortal Kombat games for the story mode,
Yeah.
but this is like more of a you create a character, right? And
Yeah.
stuff. So it
I made
seems
mine
like,
look like
I
Ultra
mean, I've heard
Beast.
that it's really good. I've heard that it also has like different control schemes that make it more accessible for people. And I mean, it sounds good. So I mean, I've been thinking about buying it, but maybe I'll do that like after I.
Yeah, I haven't even bought Zelda yet.
Oh yeah,
No, I haven't.
and you really like Breath of the Wild though.
I did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like it's like the game satisfied me so much that I didn't want more. It's like,
Yes.
okay, I'm good. I'm good. It's kind of like with Demon Souls. It's like, yeah, I finished it. Okay, I'm good. I don't.
Yeah, you don't need to play any other ones. Yeah,
Right.
I get that. And I think that in a lot of cases that's how I was feeling going into Zelda. Like I was like I'm going to play it, but I'm not that excited about it. And I just, really made it a point to not like read or watch anything about the game at all, because that was what I liked the most about the entire experience of playing Breath of the Wild, is like not knowing anybody, not knowing anything that happens, and it's just completely completely fresh. And I did it with this too, and it's constantly surprised me, that there is so much stuff in there. I feel like it could be the only game I play for a year, and I would not be able to do everything.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we got a Johnny Millenniums here with $2.20 Canadian, saying it smells like old men in here. Yeah,
Thanks, Johnny Mamillion.
a couple of 3 guys in their 40s.
Corey, are you even 40 yet?
Am I 40?
He's old.
Yeah, I'm
Are you?
44. I'll be 45 in December.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's funny because I just had that conversation with my wife. I don't know why she asked me how old you were.
Oh, really? Because I
Oh, I
mean,
thought she asked you how old you were.
I told her, and she's like, "Whoa, really? I thought he was way younger."
I guess I kind of have like a baby face in a way. Like I look like,
Well, you shave your head, and then like oftentimes you don't have facial hair, so it kind of helps.
yeah. I mean, I've been trying to keep like this level of facial hair, and it's definitely.
It's too
has a lot
bad
of
though.
gray.
The other day when we were recording, you kind of your beard had grown out a little bit more. I was like, that looks pretty cool, dude.
I know. Well, I want to like grow this out, but like keep my hair short.
Make it awkward, but I was just like,
No, it's-
I got like a couple of comments on, remember that parody video we made
Yeah.
when I was out there? A couple of comments on the one that's on GameStack skits, like, oh, Corey looks awful with a beard. Like a couple people were just like super upset. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, that was. I mean, we were on the road for like.
can't grow beard are just upset.
Well,
Which I
Probably.
now I guess like that's before I started like getting, like gray hairs or white hairs, and my beard is very red in that video.
yeah.
I mean, it's like, when I was a kid, there was a point where I kind of had red hair, and my facial hair has always had like a red tint to it. And you only see it like once it gets to a
same.
certain length and is like hit the light hits it right. But now it's like it's got a lot
Yeah,
of.
my beard's like super red compared to my hair, and people just think I'm a ginger.
So, but you never had red hair, like even as a kid,
No.
huh? Well, it's just I don't. Maybe it's I don't know. Like I don't know how that happens. I mean, it happened.
It's just the genes, I guess.
Yeah. But now, I mean, it's just like I got like some grays patches in here. And at the very beginning of the pandemic, I remember seeing like a single like little patch of white chest hair, and now it's like white. Like most of my chest hair is white now.
But as we discussed the other day, the gray hair has not progressed any farther south.
No, it hasn't.
Yet.
It's just
Yet.
right there. Not yet.
He manscapes, so he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, they
they're
pay
not
me the
paying-
big bucks to do that.
They're not paying, are they? Like we don't.
Oh, manscaped. Yeah.
You know-
That was a word before that company existed.
Yeah. All right.
That was like things we were talking earlier, about like sponsorship stuff. Like that was like they had reached out to me to about.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but it's like I saw like the kind of stuff they want you to say, like because I did like Dollar Shave Club, and they let you do whatever you want, but like with Manscaped, it's like hey guys, are you still not shaving your balls? And I was like, I'm not doing that on my show, dude. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's
You're
like
a hot swampy mess.
you got them swamp nuts. Let's fix it up.
Like I'll say that on your show. I'm not saying that on my show.
Oh, Corey, I have a question for
Sure.
you. Before this stream started, someone asked me, is a podcast going to start? So is this technically a podcast that we're doing right now?
No, I think that
What is the difference between a live stream and a podcast?
you mean
Sound
for
like-
like the podcast that Chris and I do.
No, just in general, just a definition. What constitutes a live stream? What constitutes a podcast?
Podcast, like
mean-
audio only.
Well, I mean, ours isn't.
Usually done live.
Yeah, we're like
I would.
Podcasts usually have videos these days. I mean, you could probably
Yeah.
listen to it audio only.
Ours. Has
Yeah, I mean, you upload audio only versions of this, do you not?
no, I don't do it anymore. Nobody.
Oh,
it
you don't
wasn't-
do that anymore.
It was not worth the $300 that Podbean costs every year to.
Oh, you had to pay for that?
Yeah, Podbean was like
screw that.
$300 a year or something like that.
Jeez.
That
And you probably got like one listener.
well, no, I had a decent amount, but it was like it
Really?
was not enough to justify it.
Huh.
Podcasts don't usually make any money, so if you have to pay to host it somewhere, that's money.
True. Now, what you're supposed to do is sell inline ads.
Yeah. Well, we don't have enough listeners for that anyway.
All right.
Yeah. What we really want is like sponsors of like things that we like to talk about.
Well, it just makes more sense,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
This episode of whatever is brought to you by Casper's Hot Dogs. Like I will talk passionately about Casper's Hot Dogs.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say like I would like
Deep
if
freeze
High
is not
Noon
something I talk about.
wants to sponsor it, I will definitely
Yeah.
do a sponsorship for High Noon.
I don't know what that is, but
It's just
Yeah.
like vodka or
I'll sit
tequila
here and listen
seltzers.
while you do it.
Yeah. We said we wanted like Duluth Trading Company to sponsor it. Did we say
Did we
that?
say that?
I mean, we'd like it if they did.
I own some. I have one of their T-shirts. It's a very nice T-shirt.
Yeah.
Got a couple pairs that are underwear. That stuff's a little hit or miss, but
All right. I mean, let's see if we can wrap up this magazine before. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. We're good. Okay, we got Mega Man on the Game Boy. It's okay. It's a little too zoomed in to be really playable, I think. But these, I mean, there's scan lines on here. They definitely are using a wide boy for this.
Oh, are they? I can't quite see the scan lines.
Yeah, I mean, they're. I don't know if I can. This is out of focus. Either way, yeah, but there is scan lines there.
I believe you.
We got $1.99 from Joshua Homick. He's saying Tate.
I think he's saying Tate.
Why would anyone say it with two syllables?
Right. So it's short for rotate. It's Tate.
Right.
Yeah. Reality Answer says taint mode. That's what you should start saying. Tape mode. That would be funny. Just
So what now?
say taint mode.
Taint
Mode.
That's what.
Well, that's not the first time I've seen that comment.
Well, but it would be funny to like hear you say that specifically.
I would. Yeah, it'd have to have
a million layers to it.
relevancy to whatever it was I was talking about. That would be funny though.
All right, Gremlins 2. See, Gremlins 2 did not get very good ratings here.
I mean, if you get the little green guy kind of grinning, that's like getting an F from GamePro.
Basically,
Right.
yeah, because they don't give anything lower than 3s, probably.
Yeah, anything less than like the red and the orange, like that's like a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet it's like not that bad. And it's interesting, it says, it's $26.95. Like, what was the price on Game Boy games when they were new? Were they
I don't know, but I feel even back then that's a good price.
At the
Yeah.
beginning, Game Boy games were $20, but like that,
Really?
Really?
yeah.
I mean, it still amazes me that the system was only like $89.99.
I'm talking about in like 1989, when like the ROM size was tiny.
But
They were
still, like that
I mean,
feels like a good deal.
Always cheaper than like home console games.
Yeah.
Back then.
It's just one of those things. I mean, I didn't have one, so I didn't pay attention at all. Cheesemeister says Game Boy games are typically $30. So I mean, maybe they started at 20 and
That was like I said, I'm talking about $20. I'm talking about in like '89. Like you could go get, or like I paid $20 like when Batman came out.
yeah,
Castlevania: The Adventure.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dragon's Lair. Man, Dragon's Lair. Like they tried.
I always skip through the Game Boy stuff. Ooh, look,
Yeah.
an indifferent guy.
Yeah.
That's about as bad as they can get. They have the snoring guy. That's worse, but that's it.
But it's what I don't understand. How is it that gameplay is like the orange, pretty happy guy, and then the fun factor is the blue? Like that.
Right.
Can one be so like pretty good and the other one bad? Like, oh, this game has great gameplay. It's just not
But
fun.
it's not fun at all. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, it almost seems like that you can't make ratings like that work because there's so much
That game
overlap between things.
Nissan Supercars game. I want to play that.
It doesn't have it's an electro brain.
Probably after a couple of minutes, you wouldn't. You want to try that, is what you mean.
Well, I think I have a higher threshold for mediocrity in video games than most people. So
Are you into stock racing?
no. But
But
those
you
are
do
not-
like racing in general.
Yeah, I was playing Need for Speed V Rally just today on the original PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
I remember that on the Dreamcast. It wasn't Need for Speed, but it's V Rally. It's like Test Drive V Rally.
Yeah,
Oh, that game made me sick.
Drive, of course. Competing franchise.
Rampage.
Yeah.
A lot of Electro Brain
What is
ads.
this? What's this mouse? Did they add it? No, that's
A
like,
mouse?
Probably a rat.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because then, like, if in certain cities in this country, rats do get that big.
yeah. Well, it is a rat, but they add a new character.
For the Link's version, yeah, exclusive fourth character.
Larry the Giant Rat. Wow.
You can see there's the screenshot showing the 4 characters.
Yeah. I had no idea.
Makes you want to play it, doesn't it?
Not at all. But I really like the Master System version.
Yeah, that's the best in my opinion.
But I had no
It has
idea.
a really good FM soundtrack, actually.
Really? Oh yeah, it did. I mean, I never played all the way through the game with it. It's just
I can only play like maybe 20 minutes into the game. I still like it, but it just gets so repetitive.
yes,
but yeah.
especially by yourself. But like as a kid, it
Yeah.
was awesome to play with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
But I think that's a case where that's something that the arcade game has going for it. Is like it's fun, but by the time you get game over, you're like, okay, that was enough of that anyways.
yes,
Right.
Because like he says, it's just repetitive.
yeah, and
That's cool.
it's pretty long.
Yeah.
So I had no idea. It's interesting. It's funny that they like kind of superimpose it into the original artwork.
Yeah, that's interesting. They added it. It's like they put the original artwork on top of the new artwork.
Yeah, yeah, because they just had this and then,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, Dead Heat Scramble. We were talking about Super Off-Road. Like, maybe it was last week's stream we were talking about it. The one that was like the 3 players in the arcade and he had the 3 steering wheels. And he had like the nitro and stuff. I feel like that's like one of those arcade games you saw everywhere.
Off-road.
Yes. But
Please
you know
give
what
credit
I'm
is
sure
due.
you've seen the machine. I feel like at the
Played it.
time
Yeah, it's awesome.
it's like a kind of an iconic arcade game. Like most
Yeah.
I love
arcades
the
had
arcade
that.
game because you could spin like the steering wheel. It didn't have a stop or anything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You were trying to make a tight turn, like you would just like throw the wheel.
Yeah.
And it would just, and you would just catch it. You know. That's actually there was a guy down the street from my house for like a month or something on his front porch. He had a super off-road arcade cabinet. Like the guy was some kind of weird hoarder or something.
Just
And
sitting
you
on his
know-
front porch.
What's that?
Just sitting on his front porch.
Yeah, like just one day it just showed up on his front porch. Here's his Iron Man Stewart super off-road cabinet, and then like a month later it was just gone because he probably got it somewhere and he was flipping it or whatever. But
Yeah.
I kind of want. I already have an arcade cabinet. I don't have room for
Yeah.
another one. Oh. Plus, that's you really want to dedicate that kind of floor space to just one game and have it be that. I mean, it's a fun game.
And have
though.
it be that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is like it's an iconic arcade game for the time.
Yeah.
Play it again on Conquest of the Crystal Palace. No screenshots. Got some codes. SWAT. Man, I wish that there was a place to just like to watch high quality versions of all of the GamePro TV show.
Yeah.
I always watched that after school, I think.
It was always on like on Saturday or Sunday mornings at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. It was on Saturday, wasn't it? It was Funhouse or
Yeah, Funhouse or Double
or
Dare.
the other one, the one with Johnny Arcade,
Oh,
Video Power. That was on weekdays, and then GamePro was on the weekend.
yeah, but it was always on so early that
I would
there's
just
no
set my
way that I would
VCR.
want to get up to watch that.
Right.
Like
Which
at
was
6
good anyway
a.m.
because then I'd have it recorded, could watch it again and again.
Right. You still have those recordings, you think?
No, I wish.
I know. I think see sometimes posts in our comments, and also he's like watches the podcast a lot of Video Game Obsession, Matt Hensel.
Oh yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
has like every episode of that like recorded onto their own tape, like in like the what is it, like EP mode or not EP, like the
LP,
is it LP, whatever, like the
the mid
Crappy
one.
no, like the short one.
Isn't
The,
that
the
it?
soup.
Is it SP?
There's SP, which is the good one, LP, which is the mid, and EP, or sometimes
Or is
known
it
as
SLP?
SLP, is
Yeah.
the long one.
Okay.
Right. But there's nothing like better than SP, right? Like you can't like.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there's Super VHS, but other than that, no.
I mean, I wonder if you got like if you got those tapes and captured them and maybe like ran it through like an AI upscaler, video upscaler, like if that would.
I don't recommend that.
No.
Just capture it right, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do that someday.
I wouldn't even suggest doing adaptive deinterlacing on it. Just have each field be its own upscaled frame. That way, because adaptive would just kind of screw it up.
Yeah.
It would be really cool to have all that stuff online or at least available in some way. I mean, it would be amazing. I would love to watch them all.
Oh yeah.
Just so I could
Oh, yeah.
watch the one surfer dude guy that was only in there for like the first season. Brennan. I'm like, what is he?
Oh god, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
A skater or surfer dude.
Yeah. Got more
He found
codes.
himself a Batman, and they crawl through that funhouse type thing.
Yeah.
To grab the games and stick it to themselves. Like, oh, he's got a video game. He's got another video game. He wouldn't
that
know
was
what the games were.
Oh, that was Funhouse. But
No, that wasn't Funhouse. But they had like a thing that they crawled. Was that Funhouse? I don't remember.
was it?
No, Video Power they had at one point where they would run through. They changed it to like a game show type thing. Originally it wasn't, and then they made it to a game show type thing where they had to run through. And I mean, memory's a fickle thing, so I could have this backwards. But it was Video Power.
Okay.
With that they did that.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah. You got a Neo Geo game. It's so funny.
Oh, and Joshua Helmick talking about the metal audio tapes. Chris, you just got some metal audio tapes from a place.
Yeah, I'm very, very. They're not just any metal tapes. They're
the best ones.
Maybe the most expensive ones ever. So,
why?
I mean, I think so. These tapes, like, they have like a metal I don't know if you call it like a chassis or something. Like it's actual. It's like a die-cast piece of metal that the tape is in, and it just has like two pieces of clear plastic screwed into the sides, you know? Like, so that the tape weighs a ton when you pick it up. And, I mean, my theory is just that TDK made those to market to, like, the
people like you.
The audiophile crowd. Like, the same people that buy, like, Audio Quest cables and stuff. Because, like, you know...
Because they're going to use it to listen to compact cassettes.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you were someone in the '80s that bought like a Nakamichi Dragon or something.
Oh, these aren't a new thing?
No. These are like I got these like new old stock from like
gotcha.
The early '80s, and so I just think it's it's sort of like snake oil in my opinion. I mean, I believe metal tape does sound better, but like there's nothing about specific tapes that are special compared to like other metal tapes. But it was just like because I think they cost like $25 a piece. In like 1984. So like what were you putting on there? I don't know. But so that's why I say I think it was something that was just kind of sold to like, swear up and down they could hear the difference. But like those tapes sell now for like $150 a piece if you have brand new ones. And so to find 3 of them for like I forgot what did I pay, like $5 a pop or something for them was just a crazy cool find.
Just like a thrift store or something, right?
It was at an antique store. That was the crazy thing. It was an antique store, and that person's like antique stall was all like that kind of stuff, and everything else was priced appropriately. And then he had these 3 TDK tapes sitting there, priced at $5 a piece, and I was like, it blew my mind just because like you can pick them up and you can feel how heavy they are, and like for someone like that running a booth like that. To not instantly hold that and say like I don't know what this is, but I'm going to do a little bit of research. Is just crazy.
I mean, it's almost as good of a deal you got on those as like that $5 Fire Shark or Same or whatever it was. Was it $5?
That might be a better deal. I mean, what is Same sell for?
Well, it was like $100 at the time.
Right, but I'm saying these tapes are 150.
Yeah.
Yes, they're both excellent, awesome deals.
Yeah.
In a day in a time when you don't get, you don't find anything in thrift stores anymore. And so like, to have something like that happen is like, well, feels like the old days again.
Yeah. Yep, which are sadly mostly gone. But there, it still happens every once in a while. You never know.
Yeah.
Got some more codes. It's interesting they call Ease Book 1 and 2 the land of ease.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know.
So strange. I wonder if there's any typos in those passwords. They're very long.
Yeah. It's cool that they gave you the option though, for both. I mean,
yeah.
Did the CD-ROM add-on have storage space for saves also?
Oh yeah,
like built in.
Did. It had to. It's just a supercapacitor. It's not a battery.
Okay.
So you have to turn it on. They said once every 2 weeks, but mine's lasted months and months and months. Mm-hmm. They're still there somehow.
Were you ever like made it a point to try to turn it on every once in a while? Like when you're
Yeah,
young, like you thought you needed to do it.
Yeah, I try to, but sometimes I didn't. But I think the reason East uh, the East games have passwords was because they didn't have a way to back up your saves. So the
Right.
only way you could back them up is write them down, then you could just delete them all and make room for other games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a good workaround for it.
I still have the stuff I wrote down for the East games, at least 1, 2, and 3, so I can still always restore my old saves.
Spot. Oh, old issues here. $4.50 each. Oh, I wonder if anybody, you know, still has these the comic compilations.
Oh,
Yeah, Adventures
God.
of Game Pro.
I hope not.
Palamedes.
Oh, check out how boring that guy used to be, and now how cool he is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like
pretty
he
impressive in
kind of looks
transformation.
like Bobcat Goldthwait right there.
Well, what game did he play to get this radical transformation?
Palamedes. Is that Palamedes?
Wow,
I never
I
played
gotta
that.
try
before.
that. I
It's
really
for
need
ages
that.
7 to 77.
Wow.
Wow.
If you're older than 77, you cannot play this. It's against the law, and you will go to jail.
Probably. And jail is not a place you want to be if you're 78.
Exactly. All right, more codes and the Punisher. Oh, the Punisher kind of looks like Dynamite Duke. Interesting. I've never played this version of the Punisher, but it looks like Dynamite Duke or Dead Aim. Huh. More codes, jeez. Mercenary
No, I like
Force.
the codes.
Yeah,
I'm looking at them.
yeah.
Hey, Chris, there's a Super Monaco GP code here. You don't have to play the game. You can just see the ending. You like that?
Yeah, nice.
Which
You don't have to play the game at all.
Is the ending like just that screen saying congratulations? Thank you for playing the game for playing our game.
I don't remember. I'm not sure I've ever seen the ending. I don't know. I haven't played that game in a very long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, every time you do play it, do you still like hit the flag waiver?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Every
you
time.
have to.
that's mandatory.
It's
Like how he just goes sailing.
I really like the style that Mercenary Force ad. Like, I don't know anything about that game, but just the way that ad looks is very cool.
It looks very Game Boy-esque.
Yeah, that one's definitely Game Boy-esque. It's burned into my mind. Definitely.
This is?
Yeah. The game isn't, but the ad is.
Oh, yeah, Bravo Man. I always get Bravo Man and what is it? Tanma, Legend of Hero Tanma, like mixed up for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Bravo is easy to remember because he says bravo every time he punches. Bravo, 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 bravo.
Is that
It's really exciting.
Is that an expensive game? Because I know Tama is super expensive.
It's not that expensive. It's not as expensive as Legend of Hero Tanma.
Legend of Hero. More codes. Mega Man 3. Shadow Ninja. Great game.
Oh, wait. That's interesting that they have Mega Man 3 codes here already, and they were just advertising it in the beginning of the magazine like it was coming out.
Yeah, it's
So I
almost
wonder
like,
how old that ad was. And they even have an invincibility trick.
it's like a glitch, I think, when you fall into the whole the A button on controller 1 and right on controller 2. Man, I always hated codes where you got to like use both controllers at the same time.
Oh yeah, screw that. It's like I only have 2 hands.
Yeah, and it's like how do people even figure that out?
Really.
Shadow of the Ninjas, it's good. Ask the Pros. Boy is Blob. Iron Sword. A lot of renovation stuff. Renovation games.
I just picked up Granada not too terribly long ago.
Oh yeah?
X-Granatics.
Yeah, right.
Granatics.
I feel like I used to see that all the time online. That people
Yeah.
name. Like you'd see it like ROM, like the file name of ROM, stuff like that. Like, oh, it's X Granada X. It's like, no, dude, that's just like the framing around Granada.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like
Right.
behind it. Whip Rush is kind of pricey these days too.
It's not
Is
bad.
it? Really?
Yeah, like that and Arrow Flash are kind of expensive.
Arrow Flash, really?
Yeah.
That's probably the most generic shooter on the system.
Yep.
I really don't pay attention to prices anymore.
Oh, I mean, I really don't. It's just I happen to see it someplace. I never go out of my way to look up
Is this
stuff.
yet another ad for DJ Boy, or was
The other one was
an
just
article?
the-
Must have been.
Yeah, the other one was it was just a review, a preview.
Okay.
Just kind of moving here. You got RoboCop 2, Gauntlet 2.
Would you play that quick shot, the one where it looks like a bat wing? It's
Like
you
that one
hold
there.
up-
I mean,
yeah.
it looks cool.
I had that.
Did
Really?
you really?
Because, like, I would go to the mall sometimes, and, like, if I went to the mall with my grandma, she would always give me some money, even though I was like, I don't need any money, Grandma. And she's like, well, I just don't like you to not have any money. So she'd give me, like, $5 or $10. And I would always go hit up that clearance, that white wire basket clearance thing at KB Toys. And they had that in there for, like,
The
$5.
Apache or the flight
And-
grip.
No, the flight grip there. And, I was a kid, so money just burned a hole in my pocket. And so I saw that for like $5. I had to buy it. Of course, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look neat, though, in my opinion. But it's like,
Yeah.
why?
I just want to see someone try playing, a game like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't think I really even had any games that would be appropriate for. I mean, like, not that that's really useful for anything, but I'm saying like playing Super Mario Brothers with that just doesn't even make sense.
Where's the other button? Is it a trigger?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
You got that gigantic button. We got $5 from My Retro Life. Thank you. Good to see you here. Saying great stuff, guys. Got any Team Sega newsletter on deck? Cool stream idea. I don't, but I'm almost to the end of this. But what I'll do is I'm going to grab something else really quick, and we'll just kind of flip through it. It's not one of the
something
things we
short.
talked about. It's like one of the Chris. It's like one of the things that I got for you. That you said you wanted to do it, like you would do it as just like kind of a joke. Is that
Oh, but
okay
now
with you?
you're going to do it instead so that I can't.
Well, no, you said you wanted to do that as like it would be funny to just like do that at the stream beginning of the stream, just as like a
Yeah.
control. Is that okay if I do that, or do you want to do it yourself?
That was your show.
Okay. I got Musha and Crackdown. I like Crackdown on the Genesis.
I
That's
think it's a pretty fun game.
Do you like it on the
Yeah.
Genesis more than you like it on the Xbox 360?
oof. I mean, obviously they're not connected, but they're both good in their own way. I mean, I think that that Crackdown 3 is really good. Did not deserve to flop. It's just like Crackdown is enjoyable in its stupidity, I think. It's just so silly and stupid that's what makes it fun. But I do like this. I do like the Genesis version. It's a good co-op game. And I always like that you could do like the Metal Gear Solid style, like pinning
Yeah.
against the wall. Although I don't even know if it's like useful in the game at all.
Whack down.
Yeah.
Just the way, I don't know. It's because the sample quality is so low. It's just whack down. Just the way it sounds.
Yeah. KG says quack down.
Yeah.
Ninja Crusaders. I've never played that. It almost looks Ninja Gaiden-esque, but not nearly as good.
Because two ninja are better than one.
Yeah, you gotta have a, with this look at this mech though. That's super cool looking.
That'd be even better. Two ninjas and
And a
Purple
mech.
mech.
a 209
And
look.
glowing and flying silver balls.
Yeah.
Well, it's American Sammy. You cannot go wrong.
No. They did Thundercade, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the overhead shooter on the motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
I've never played it, but that was one of the games on the game player game tapes that they show how to play through the game, but they do the whole thing with slow motion, so it's just like pausing and unpausing throughout the entire gameplay of it. They did that with Amagon also on one of those tapes. Well, let's see. Volume 1 of the of this. So I wonder if that has episodes of the show on it, or maybe the show wasn't out
No,
yet.
the show came later. I think it's just like tips and tricks. See, it says hot tips and tactics for such and such a game.
Yeah. This guy's he's drinking out of that Coke can, that controller, of course. All right. Well, it's kind of like the ending to this magazine says it's pretty flaccid, if I do say so myself.
Wow.
Yeah, why'd you choose it?
I mean, the magazine itself was pretty decent, but the ending of it.
That's I mean that's how it is with most of these magazines. Is by
Yeah.
you getting and it's just like that's where all the slop is,
Yeah.
Although that's a pretty cool SNK ad.
Yeah.
in my-
I can't go a stream without an Amagon reference. Did you know that in Japan, are you guys familiar with Amagon, the game Amagon on the NES?
I mean, I've never personally played it, but I always enjoyed laughing at the screenshots of it in magazines and stuff, and I thought it looked so pathetic.
Yeah. Well, you're like this guy with a gun, and then you get enough power-ups and you turn into like a big
I thought it was like kind of like Altered Beast, like where you
In
kind
a
of change
way.
into a bigger guy.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, he turns into like this muscle-bound guy.
Yeah.
And I guess in Japan the game is called Suddenly Macho Man.
That's awesome.
That is a
Yeah,
way
it is.
better name. Yes. All right, I'm gonna grab that other magazine really quick.
All right.
Chris, entertain our audience.
I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm angry. Right. How did the camera get crooked?
Yeah, it looks like it did, or it's just a
That's
board that he put on his desk.
Yeah, but I got my desk here is like butcher block or whatever, but you use the pieces of wood to get the camera straight, make sure everything's parallel.
Right. Gonna have to give him hell when he gets back.
Where did he go?
I don't know. I think he had to drive over to someone's house to get the magazine.
Right.
All right, is everybody ready? I got a heavy hitter coming. All right.
No. Yes. Yes.
Hitting you with this. I'm gonna find out how to ride the ramps.
Now all the comments will disappear because whenever you do anything with children on YouTube, comments
Well, it's-
automatically go away, get turned off.
I mean, it's a time capsule, right? This is volume 1, number 1, and I wonder if there's ever even.
Did
a
they
number
ever
2.
make any more?
Probably not.
Why is it Game Players Sports for Kids? That doesn't even make it. Can it just be a Sports for Kids magazine? What do Game Players have to? Are there video games in there?
Maybe it was this hot.
Well, yeah,
sports
okay,
video
hot
games.
sports video games.
Look at this. This guy looks like Anthony Kiedis, kind of. From Red Hot Chili Peppers. All right.
More like sports for teens. They didn't look really like kids.
All right, I'm gonna flip through this partially for the next maybe like 10-ish minutes maybe, and then we'll wrap it up. There was $4.99 from Bitspasm. Thank you, saying just set up my YPB-PR Blu-ray player, BD player on my 32-inch CRT to watch the M2 Complete Works and Glorious 480i. Well, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. How's it look on there? At least that should be a good downscale, I guess, since it's 1080i. Man, that drives me crazy though, with Blu-rays that they have to be.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, look at that.
Blu-ray is dumb.
Have you had to do anything with UHD Blu-rays at all?
No. That's way out of reach financially.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Like
They price it so that you cannot do that.
Oh,
Studios
really?
only. Yeah,
That
it's
sucks.
awful. Yeah, it's awful.
I mean, you enjoy making Blu-rays though. I mean, I mean, kinda. You like it?
I mean, I don't like making the menus, and I just feel like it's tedious, and they always have to have something graphical. And it's just like, no, I just want to make a menu linking this video to this video, but I don't know. Then it looks super plain and boring.
I don't know. There's something that I like about it that is just I don't know. Like it's just I think it's fun. We got
I've
Troy
got to
Aikman
make
as a
one.
rookie.
I've got to make one in a few weeks. So
Oh,
for another project I'm working on,
nice.
that's not video game related.
I just had to do one for this Street Fighter documentary.
Yeah.
And I was kind of panicking at first because Adobe took Encore like offline, but then I guess they put it back up where you could download and install it again. But for a while
Yeah,
there, they
and-
got rid of it because I think that they,
Keep the install file too on a different
Yeah, oh,
drive
yeah.
so you can install it.
I definitely I have that backed up
Yeah.
like on my Dropbox because I think that they like removed like Dolby support or something like that. They didn't pay like their licensing fees for it or something.
Oh geez.
So
I
like
couldn't.
that
I
caused them
couldn't.
to have to remove all that.
That's weird because I couldn't make a Blu-ray without Dolby Digital.
Yeah.
I could use DTS as well. That's interesting. It says Troy Aikman rookie.
Yeah.
It's old.
Yeah. What about Gary Carter superstar?
I don't know who that is.
Me either. Chris, you know
I
who
know
Gary
who Babe
Carter
Ruth
is?
No.
Tiger on the prowl. Tiger Woods. Is
Really?
he what does it say about him? This might be interesting. Look at a boy they call Tiger. They just call him Tiger.
Yeah. I mean,
But that's definitely Tiger Woods.
Yeah. It
That's
says it right
interesting.
there. At age 2, Eldrick Tiger
Oh,
Wood
yeah.
appeared on the Mike Douglas show with Bob Hope.
Chris, I won't do this whole magazine because I feel like,
You feel like you're stepping on my toes, or
yeah. I won't go through the whole thing. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, Comerica's hard up advertising in this magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, Video Blaster, man. That looks like it's.
I like the triangle stick.
Yeah, it's a supersonic. It's the #1 bet. It's got no wires. It's the one to get. Gee, this is like almost entirely ads. Swimmers. I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch sports at the time, so I don't really know who a lot of these people are. There was $2 from Steve. Thank you, Steve. Saying, remember the ad for Skitchin? They had the B word.
I think he's talking about my skit. I don't know if you saw it.
Was that wasn't today, was it?
No. It was a few months ago, I think.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
It's skitchin', it's bitchin', something like that.
Well, there he is. The
Rookie
guy
Troy
that
Aikman.
beat the Buffalo Bills 2 years in a row in the Super Bowl. Are the NBA Finals over?
No, we got one more game to win
Okay.
tomorrow.
What is
And
it?
it'll be in
Like, what is it? Is the series at right now?
Denver 3, Miami 1.
Okay.
Are you pretty excited about that? You
Yeah,
follow that?
well, I don't normally follow NBA, but the Nuggets are doing really good, and they're my team. So yeah, I met them when I was a kid.
Well, that's
Obviously, everyone's
All of
completely different now. So, but yeah, we've never won a title before,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty excited about that. Gonna see how they rip the city apart when they riot when they win or lose, because
Well,
people are stupid.
you're lucky in that you're like live like in a city that has done well like in various sports like for years now though. Like just
Yeah, I mean, like the Broncos have 3 Super Bowl victories, the Avalanche have 3 hockey Super Bowl victories, and then we're going to get our first basketball Super Bowl victory hopefully tomorrow. The Rockies have yet to do the baseball Super Bowl.
the baseball Super Bowl.
Yeah, whatever.
I
it
think
is.
you're saying something about that on where you said maybe it was on Facebook or something where you said something about field goals.
Oh yeah, I wonder if in basketball if they realize perhaps that they're not playing on a field.
So what are they
I don't
calling
think they
field
know.
goals?
I don't think they know. I think someone needs to tell them. How are they getting field goals? It's not a field. Shut up.
They're all
court
Super
goal.
Bowls and yeah. I don't know. Have you been to a Nuggets game? Or I mean, obviously when you're a kid, but I mean,
Maybe, not recently, not for a while. Last thing I went to was an Avalanche game.
I've never been to a sports or to a basketball game before. I mean, I've been.
I think basketball is a lot of fun to watch because it's so fast paced and they constantly score, unlike hockey, and it's not slow like football. So it's pretty fun.
Well, I'm not going to go through any more of this, because I'll let Chris do it because I think that he'll do it justice, and it'll be fun for him. But it's okay. If you decide that you don't want to and you don't want it anymore, then I'll hang on to it. we can trade it for that game fan number 1.
Maybe.
You have a game fan number 1 that's up for offer?
Oh no, it's. I mean, I told you about that, right? That I got a game fan issue number 1, like randomly at a convention last year.
Oh, really?
Oh my God!
You did.
I mean,
I forgot about it.
It was like one of those finds that I feel like it can never be replicated. This guy, I was at this convention up in Columbus, Ohio, and this guy had all these magazines in these bins, and he had like gotten these magazines from a he bought somebody's entire collection, and the thing said the sign said Game Pros were $10, and Nintendo Powers were $10, and everything else was like $5 and under. And I was like immediately thinking like, oh, it's just going to be junk. And I immediately find it like an early issue of EGM. So I start like going through, and I just keep on finding like these old like game fans and old EGMs. And I remember my heart like skipped when I saw like a game fan volume 1 number 1.
Nice.
And it looked like it had never even been opened.
Wow.
And I had this whole stack of magazines, and I put that in there, and I bought it, and I was like, oh, if I get a whole bunch, do I get like a bulk deal? And he's like, oh yeah. So I bought this huge stack of magazines, like early game fans and early EGMs, for $85.
Nice.
And like that game fan is like, it's like a $200 magazine, maybe more.
Really?
I mean, Chris, what would you say? Like that game fan number 1 is expensive.
Yeah, I mean it's probably something like that.
But it was a you don't get many finds like that anymore, where your heart like jumps. So, wait, the last one on eBay sold for $400. I saw $4,400. I'm like, come
You
on.
meant to hold shift on that 4.
But still, I mean, it's amazing. And the guy had no idea, and I wonder if he ever like realized it, but he probably doesn't even care. Like, he just had all these magazines and just wanted to get rid of them. He didn't want them to like keep carting them around. But I spent so much time just going through each of these bins. I mean, I think I got a Game Fan 1, 2, 3, and 5 out of that. I mean, where it essentially cost me like $3, like the whole thing, or like that issue. So it was crazy. But it's 11:08. I think I think we're gonna wrap it up. It's late for me, not so much for these other guys, but whatever. But thanks for joining me for
it's fun.
jumping in here. It was a lot of fun. I do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who donated. I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good week, everybody.
See ya.
Take care.